17-year-old Belleville boy. The accident resulted in the highway being shut down for several hours, causing major delays. The city of Manchester has been recognized as one of Missouri's most neighborly cities for 2026. The honor was awarded by the University of Missouri Extension and the Hopeful Neighborhood Project. Manchester joined Springfield, Fremont Hills, Excelsior Springs, Houston, and Lee Summit as cities that exemplify neighborly excellence in Missouri. And Ferguson Brewing Company is closing, but another local brewery is making plans to take over the space.
After 15 years in North St. Louis County, Ferguson Brewing Company will close its doors on December 20th, but its taps won't stay dry for long. A local brewery chain will take over the space, serving up craft beer and wood-fired pizza. Good News Brewing Company, Ferguson, is scheduled to open in early 2026. Soulcraft founder Rodney Fickus and his wife Julie will lead the locally owned and operated franchise. Before opening, they plan some light renovations to the space at 418 South Florissant Road. Sobey Bay, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter & Old Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The ongoing Boeing strike is delaying the fighter jet production in the St. Louis area. General Kenneth Wilsbach told the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee in written testimony that deliveries of the fighter jets are delayed due to the ongoing Boeing strikes. Workers began walking the picket lines on August 4th. No new talks have been scheduled. Now the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 203 points at 46,271. NASDAQ down 164 at 22,530. And the S&P 500 down 10 at 6,644. Now let's throw it to Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve, last night Jimmy Snuggerud scored twice as the Blues beat the Canucks in Vancouver 5-2. It's suddenly 2 wins in a row for the Note, with the Blackhawks coming to Enterprise Center on Wednesday night. And Mizzou basketball senior Mark Mitchell has been named preseason second-team All-SEC. Mitchell averaged nearly 14 points and 5 rebounds per game for the Tigers last year. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. There's a crash on northbound 270 at 44, blocking the 2 right lanes with traffic slow back to Gravois. And eastbound 64 is running slow from a mile east of Illinois 157 to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or plan your next event, specifically group outings or holiday parties at the Rack House. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our forecast calls for mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day, mostly clear tonight, an overnight low around 60, sunny tomorrow with a high near 86. At 3:08, sunshine, 85 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
What have we learned about Heidi?
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent,
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
she uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
Well, hello and happy Tuesday, everybody. Heidi Glaus here with Bob Ramsey, Josh Gilbert, and we've got a lot to get to. First up, at about 3:30, we're going to talk to Ryan Krall with St. Louis Magazine, because there is an interesting story developing with Sheriff Alfred Montgomery. He's now been sent to jail. So what exactly has happened since the expensive badges and the golf carts. What is landing him in jail? We'll get that full story coming up at 3:30. A little bit later in the 3 o'clock, we'll talk to Alex Stone about gas prices coming down ahead of the holidays. Isn't that kind of backwards? Don't they typically go up before the holidays? So what is leading to that? We'll check in with Alex. In the 4 o'clock, as we usually do, we check in with Eric Seamers, editor of the St. Louis Business Journal. And there's several stories that they're working on that we were like, hold on, we want to know about that. We want to know about that. So 2 restaurant stories. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about the Blues picking their gambling partner, which is interesting. And then we'll also talk about David Hoffman, who is the guy that was trying to give a new face to Augusta. He wants to buy a majority stake in Lee Enterprises, which owns the Post-Dispatch, but he has some pretty critical words for the way the paper is being run at the moment. So we'll get all of that coming from Eric at about 4:20. We'll also check in with Royal Oaks, ABC's legal analyst, to give us kind of a standing of where we are on all of these different court dates and trials and what's going on there. And then in the 5 o'clock, we're going to be joined by who I think is the funniest person on the planet. I also am lucky to call her a good friend, Kathleen Madigan, who was just in town, did a sold-out show at Stiefel Theater on Saturday. She has a big announcement. She's going to make it here, and we'll also do a recap of the weekend and what it's like for her to perform in her hometown of St. Louis. We've got some other entertainment news, and then we'll wrap this show up with some randoms. When I was kind of flipping through the Today Show, because full disclosure, I typically record it, and then I just fast forward through all of the headlines and the stories that catch my attention. And the one that stopped me in my tracks, and I want you guys to weigh in on this on the KTRS text line, 84126. Most of Gen Z, we're talking about the 18 to 25-year-olds, right? Is that where the Gen Z kind of lands?
Yeah, it's like even younger than millennials.
Okay. They are now watching TV with subtitles.
Yes.
And I was just floored by this. And so then I started to dig in a little bit more, the great debate.
There's a debate?
With subtitles and how many people are now using them, even if you don't have hearing loss. Now, I will say my parents have been doing it for a minute. Do you watch with subtitles?
I don't like to. I find them distracting.
That's one of the arguments.
But, capital letters, but, comma, if it's a show set in Britain.
Yes.
Or
a weird accent.
A very strange accent. Or sometimes there's a thing in movie making, I don't know, in the last half dozen years or so, where when people are whispering, they're really whispering, and you can't hear it. What? Well, I know that's what the character is doing, but we need to hear you.
What are you saying?
So there are times when I do it, but I don't like to do it. It's distracting.
I started when my wife would go to bed early, and I still wanted to watch movies.
So you would take it completely, the sound is completely off.
It would, no, the sound would be like on, if it's normally at 10, it would be like on a 6.
Okay.
So you could hear.
I do the same thing, Josh. Exactly the same
You
thing.
could hear the rumbles, you could hear the music, you could hear this.
I
but
could stay up downstairs in the living room, but then what if I get tired? Then you get up and you kind of wake up. So when I'm in bed, Jen's asleep, it's turned not completely off.
Yeah.
You can't really hear it, but it adds just a little bit with the subtitles.
And then to Bob's point, I was doing it when I started watching the James Bond. Who's the blonde guy that just got Daniel Craig?
Oh, yeah.
I watched that whole James Bond series, British, and I watched The Lord of the Rings again. That's British. But when a show has a lot of names like that, it's easier when you read them.
Yeah.
And that helps you kind of keep it sorted out. But Heidi's talking about these kids watching full-time subtitles, right?
All the time.
All the time. And they say part of it is because we live in this era of social media where you're constantly looking at your phone and you're reading a lot of those, and a lot of the TikTok and the other posts already have the subtitles. Some of it is also that the divided attention between the screens on your lap and the TV. But I read this article, the Business Insider, and they're saying the case for and against watching TV and movies with the subtitles on. And I would just like to point out, every time my subtitles are on at this point, it was accidental, and it takes me about an hour to figure out how to turn them off.
The first couple times, it took me a while. I'm not bad at it now. It only takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Somebody on here, they say it can actually enhance your experience. So if you're watching Game of Thrones and they're speaking in that language, if they are whispering or the background noise
It's too much.
is too much.
A lot of times that noise or the music
Yes.
overwhelms the. And didn't anybody in the editing notice this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it drives me crazy.
So I only watch Game of Thrones at night when my wife has gone to bed. And, I'm in bed myself and I'll pop it on. I wonder if I threw Game of Thrones on at 6 o'clock on the couch, if I would turn the subtitles on.
A lot of people
I don't think I would.
in this did say they used it for House of the Dragon and
Yes.
other things like that because of the language. And they say, it's almost impossible to watch them without because the accents, the countless characters that you can't really keep track of when they're dropping all of these names, and then the locations that can be easily mixed up, and the subtitles kind of put you back in a certain place as far as that goes, which I was just kind of shocked. They also said they turned the subtitles on for the new Star Wars series. How else was I supposed to know when people were saying weird things?
Right. And I only watch that at night.
With
in bed
subtitles.
with subtitles.
Okay.
But
I hate doing it, but I do it.
in the morning, after I turn the TV back on to watch the Today Show or news or whatever, the subtitles are on, and I immediately turn them back off. I'm not watching them during the football game last
Okay,
night.
you're not.
No.
Do you like when a movie, let's go Stranger Things TV show, then even gives a description of the sound in the background, like the squishy?
No, I hate it.
Okay.
I don't mind it in bed at nighttime, but if it's I'm trying to just get through the accents or the muddy audio, then then it does bother me.
Yeah.
On that Star Wars TV show, Andor, which just won, I think, a Emmy Award for writing, the subtitles would say the lead character sniffles. He said sniffles. Andor sniffles. I'm like, what is he doing? What? He's not sniffling. And
Well-
even if he is, you don't need to tell me that.
Apparently, a lot of people actually like it. Somebody said subtitles can give you information on things like what's the background music. Somebody said, I hate it, but my wife loves it. I find it very distracting to get into a show with subtitles.
Quick time out.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, I get what the previous starter was saying. It tells you what the music is, the title of the music, where maybe
Right.
you didn't know it. To me, that is not worth it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's correct. She's correct.
Right.
He or she is correct. It's not worth it for me.
Someone else, I started using subtitles when I watch Peaky Blinders. I'm now watching
Yes.
with headphones and subtitles.
Yep.
I live in an apartment building and use subtitles. I understand the Brits just fine. Kids have subtitles because they would want to watch a video but would get reprimanded for having sound. That's a great point. Somebody else, I hate it. I can't watch a show if it's on. I can't watch and read at the same time. When I get mad at my husband who hates subtitles, I turn on the subtitles because he doesn't know how to turn them off.
Oh. I think we have deeper problems here.
That's diabolic.
Yes.
Somebody said if the music background sounds louder than the speech, check your audio settings.
Oh, can you adjust that?
I thought it was all one, but
All right, so I'm flying out west. I think we were going to San Diego, and I didn't have headphones. So Finn's sleeping or he's watching whatever. I turn on Dune, Part 2.
Dunk.
It's like a 3-hour movie, but I had zero sound because I didn't want to bother anybody.
we all appreciate that.
And I read the whole thing in subtitles, and it was fine.
Fine or amazing?
No, it wasn't amazing. I would much have rather have had the. But
At that point,
I
why
got
not
through
read
the
a
movie.
book?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what you're doing. I got through
You
it.
read the whole script.
Read the whole script. It was fine. I'm not gonna say it was great, but it was.
You got it done.
It was doable.
Yeah.
But then aren't we also taking away from what the movie is supposed to be?
Yes.
With the background sound and the beautiful, sets and scenery and the colors, because
Yes.
now you're focused on that
Those
line
words
at
at
the
the bottom.
bottom and you're not even seeing some of the other stuff. At least I can't.
I think you're right. I agree with you.
Well, I'm sure the filmmaker would be very disappointed that I watched it on my iPad with zero sound.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think a true artist would be.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting the whole experience that they wanted.
Unless you paid for it.
Yeah.
Then they're fine.
One of the
Yeah.
other things
It was on HBO.
can be distracting, but they can also get ahead of the audio. So if you're reading it, it might say what's about to come up before the character actually says it.
Usually it's not very much. I mean, it's a brief
half
moment.
second.
Yeah.
You know what I really like? There's a setting that if you kind of, I missed something, I'm going to bloop back 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It will turn the subtitles on for the bloop back.
Oh.
And then when it catches up to where you were, it turns them back off. Because most of the time when I was doing Game of Thrones and I wasn't turning on subtitles, I would rewind it. Oh, what did he just say? And the TV was like, this is why people are rewinding, because they missed
That's right.
some of the dialogue.
Yep.
So there's a setting that will literally put the subtitles up just for the amount of time that you rewound it
That's kind of smart.
and then fade them away
I
as you
like
catch
that.
up.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, somebody says much ado about nothing. Isn't that what this entire show is usually?
I'm just glad there was much ado. Usually
Yeah.
there's little ado.
Very good point. With practice, subtitles are fine. And really, it comes down to just your preference. How do you want to watch a TV show or a movie?
And are you not going to watch foreign films at all? Because that's all subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Well, for you that only speak one language, yes.
right. Oh, Bob is
No,
rich
that
with
includes
languages.
me. I just was trying to direct it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what happened to me today?
Please.
I get a
I
text.
hope it was good.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
I get a text message
This will be better.
at like 9 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and it says it's from my bank, and there's a $200 charge from Disney Plus. Did I make this charge?
$200.
$200. I didn't even know you could sign up for a package on Disney Plus worth $200. So I waited until I got to a good spot, and I called the bank because I'm not going to text back this text
No,
message.
that's a smart move.
Now I'm talking to a bot, and they're like, "What's your social?" I'm well, here it is.
Bad.
So I call them, and they say it was legit. It came from them. And then I go into my account, and there's 2 other charges this morning that I had never seen. One was for a Halloween costume online company. So somebody just bought a Halloween
And by
costume.
somebody, you mean your wife.
No. And then the other one was from the children's place. So apparently whoever has my credit card tried to sign up for Disney.
And you're absolutely sure it's not your wife.
100% sure.
Okay.
Because we already have Disney. And so they canceled my card.
That's such a pain.
They're going to send me a new one in 7 to 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what I'm going to use the credit card, I guess.
Debit card or credit?
Debit card.
Debit. That you use all the time.
Which,
Everywhere.
I
Yeah.
mean, now I got to go through.
You're cash boy
All
now.
of the automatic payments.
Now I got to go through my statements and find out what gets taken out automatically
Mm-hmm.
every month.
Because God forbid you send a check.
Oh, no.
Right.
What year is this? So the number one thing that I wanted to make sure was, is this text message coming from my bank?
Mm-hmm.
And it was. And,
It was good the way you checked it, though.
yeah, they're
And that's
on-
what
they're on the
everybody
case.
should do. Because my mother-in-law was just kind of saying the same thing, that a weird text message came in to her boyfriend, and she's like, do not respond to that. And it ended up being correct, but we said over and over, you did the right thing. Call the bank, call whatever company directly.
Because if I'm calling the bank, I know I'm getting the bank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if I respond to a text message out of the blue,
Could be anybody.
who knows who that is?
Yeah.
So that was really terrible. But this is the real thing that stuck in my
The
craw.
gut butt punch.
Yes. Had nothing to do with that bank fiasco. Remember yesterday how out of shape I got about the Dollar General?
Yes.
upcharging
For
at
25 cents.
And they claim, well, we don't have enough workers to go back and change all the price tags. Whatever. I got so mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm even more mad at this. You ever have an aerosol can, like hairspray,
Mm-hmm.
where the top knob
Comes off.
stops working?
Yep, and you still have a full can.
And the can is still full
Yep.
of stuff.
Do you know what you do, though?
I mean, this thing was $20.
You go and buy another one, and you just take the little top off and place it on it. And then
Does
when
that
you're
work?
done, yes. And then when you're done, you take it off and you place it on your new can.
So the cap is the issue.
Yes.
I got so mad at this thing, and
I mean, typically it's the cap.
Yeah,
Typically, you're right.
Yeah.
I want to call the company.
And if it's not the cap, you can run it under hot water.
In case it's
And-
just
and
clogged.
clogged.
Well, it's not
up.
clogged because I tried that.
Okay.
It just has some sort of disconnect between the little tube that sticks out
Mm-hmm.
and the cap, and it's not giving me my hair product.
That
So,
has nothing to do with the bank, correct?
no.
Okay.
But this is what's got me really mad today.
Got it.
The bank was whatever. They'll take care of that. I'll get reimbursed
It's
in
your hair.
7 to 10 days. Them stealing my hair stuff.
Oh.
It's trapped in the bottle
Maddening.
at this point.
It's a tough one.
It really is
Yeah.
maddening.
Well, we're glad you could get that off your chest.
Thank
and
you.
We'll be here for the next 2.5 hours if you want to vent about anything else. If you guys want to vent on the text line 84126, feel free. You guys know what we have coming up, and we really want you to be a part of it here on the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh and Bob on the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. This is our favorite motoring season. Great top-down weather or getting the bike out. The temps are perfect. Of course, we can fix you up with one if you're in need. Attractive financing options available with no payments until 2026. Keep that in mind. Now, if you have one and don't need it, we can help there too. We're always looking for super clean, low-mile, pristine Corvettes, muscle cars, classic cars, luxury cars, you name it. Motorcycles too, especially Ducatis and Harleys. We'll even buy entire collections. Hop on our site, submit what you've got, and we'll get you an offer. Easy as that.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Hi, it's David Sherwood of the Inside Out Show and president of Sherwood's Forest on Barrett Station Road, just south of Manchester. Fall planting season is here now. We are fully stocked with the area's largest selection of evergreens, Japanese maples, magnolias, and shade trees. Choose from lilac trees, sugar maples, birch, October glory, hornbeams, and crab to provide summertime shade and great fall and spring color. At Sherwood's Forest, you'll also find hundreds of green giant arborvitae and junipers to screen thy neighbor.
And right now, get 5 mums for $40.
Sherwood's Forest has been planting smiles for over 45 years, so head to the forest, Sherwood's Forest at 2651 Barrett Station Road, or check out our inventory at sherwoods-forest.com or call 314-966-0028.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing, online at aroofing.net.
Permajack of St. Louis is synonymous with foundation repair and basement waterproofing across the St. Louis region. They know when you get water in your basement following a storm or when the snow melts, it means you have a problem. Make sure your basement doesn't leak or flood with Permajack of St. Louis. Permajack's basement waterproofing experts can perform a complete inspection of your basement to determine the problem and design a solution to keep water from entering and damaging your home. The solution could be as simple as crack repair or a sump pump, or more comprehensive like exterior waterproofing or an internal perimeter drainage system. No matter the solution, your basement will be dry with Hometown Permajack. Schedule a free inspection and estimate by visiting permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, foundation repair and waterproofing. Done right.
Carney, Buck.
Wednesday, Dr. Ravi Johar joins us to talk about efforts being made to eliminate peanut allergies.
Also, we'll talk sports with our very own Bob Ramsey.
Got a couple of Johnnies on tap, too, with Johnny Londoff and Johnny Law.
Meet us here right at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck. Weekdays at noon on KTRS. The talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
3:31 on this Tuesday afternoon. Captain Paul, how are the roads looking?
Heidi, the latest is an accident on northbound 270 at Dorset. It's blocking the 3 right lanes with a short stop and go back up to Page. Estimated clearance time is 4:20. We also have an accident on southbound 170 at Page, and eastbound 64 is running slow from a mile east of Illinois 157 to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
A dent, a little crack in the windshield, it's all a headache, which is why when you're on vacation, you don't have to think about any of that. You just kind of put your feet up, have your cup of coffee, and enjoy yourself. Altair Travel and Cruises can help you plan the perfect getaway. Whether you want to go to Alaska on a beautiful cruise and see the wildlife and the beautiful surroundings, they can help you plan that. Maybe you want to go to a beach. It's all inclusive. You don't have to worry about carrying your wallet around. Altair Travel and Cruises can help with that. And right now, Altair has a fantastic October special promotion with AMA Waterways. Because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you'll receive $100 off any new AMA Waterways trip for Breast Cancer Awareness Month when you book with Altair Travel and Cruises. And I got to tell you, I have now done 3 cruises with AMA Waterways, and it is fantastic because you get to whatever city that you are leaving. You pull all your luggage on board. If you're like I am, you put it into the drawers, and then you never have to worry again. You get off in a new city, and you come back on for lunch, and then you go see another little village. It is absolutely fantastic. Altair Travel and Cruises can set you up with whatever kind of trip, adventure, vacation you want to go on. AltairTravel.com or call them at 314-968-9600.
And now, KTRS weather.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Another mild but above normal night, low down to 61 degrees, and then warm and well above normal afternoon again, a high of 84, partly to mostly cloudy at times, but the warm and dry pattern continues for Wednesday, and it goes right into Thursday, although more sunshine, mostly sunny, and a high of 83 Thursday afternoon. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery has been ordered to jail after trouble with guns and a burner phone. Ryan Kroll with St. Louis Magazine is covering that story and joins us with what he knows. I mean, this seems just crazy. And as Josh put it in the office earlier, it's like we went from point A to Z. Where's the middle?
Yeah, well, you said it very well there. So, yeah, last Thursday he was put on house arrest. And I guess the key thing to kind of understand here is that nothing really changed in the last 5 days, except that some new information came to the judge's attention at a hearing this morning, conduct that had been happening for the past several weeks, but the judge was just made aware of. Yeah, and that includes that after he was originally federally indicted in late August, and he knew he was going to be sort of under court supervision, surveillance, Sheriff Montgomery bought a burner phone in someone else's name that he was using to communicate with people. And it's actually that phone that he allegedly used to intimidate and tamper and retaliate against potential witnesses in the case. So there was recorded phone calls that were cited in the witness tampering charges. And apparently he made those phone calls on this burner phone.
Has he not watched a television show ever?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and this is a history, or this is an office with a very long history of people recording phone calls. You remember Montgomery's had a lot of his calls leaked to the press. Vernon Betts the same. So, yeah, he really should be watching what he's saying on these phones.
So let's go back. I mean, we were talking about this over the summer. He bought a bunch of golf carts that weren't authorized. He paid $30,000 or so in new badges with a new slogan on it. Then what happened? Why did he get on house arrest?
Yeah. So basically, the golf carts, the badges, the myriad other scandals, the mass firings, even the initial federal charge, which was a misdemeanor, kind of frankly, that's all very serious. That would make me riddled with anxiety if I was facing any of that. But things have really escalated quickly in the past week. He was hit with these 5 felonies related to witness tampering. Basically, the allegations go trying to keep people from testifying against him and all the stuff he was already facing. But those are just much more serious crimes. Those are all felonies that he was hit with. And I think the way that really hits it home is that before last Thursday, the absolute worst case scenario for him was he would no longer be sheriff and he could go to jail for 1 year. Now the absolute worst case scenario is that he could no longer be sheriff and he could go to jail for 61 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that is in the realm of possibilities.
So Ryan, he's been ordered to jail. Will he pay a bail there, post a bail, and he'll be home this afternoon? Where does it stand at this hour?
Yeah, so this is one of those things though where he cannot post bail. He has the whole the reason the judge sent him to jail was that he's worried he's going to continue to engage in this witness tampering if he's out of jail. So unless they can convince the judge otherwise, he's going to have to stay in jail for the duration until his case goes to trial. He's probably looking at, that's probably at least not like a year from now. So he's really in a tough spot. I mean, this is honestly one of the first times I got to admit, I feel a little bit of sympathy for the guy just because he's sort of fallen so far so fast.
So true. And remind me, and I voted in the city of St. Louis, this is his first term as sheriff, isn't it?
Yeah. He's about, let's see, I guess a little over 10 months into the job. Yeah.
Well, he's a real doer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if you're gonna flame out fast, I guess.
Is he taking anyone down with him, or has he been doing all this kind of on his own?
As far as I can tell, he's kind of been doing all this on his own. Now, I guess I will say he has this very sort of credible city judge or retired city judge, David Mason, who was on the bench for more than 30 years. Judge Mason is really in Montgomery's corner, remains in his corner. But I have to say, people kind of always refer to Judge Mason as a very credible guy, a very straight shooter. But it's kind of like the longer that Mason continues to go to bat for this guy, I feel like a little bit of the stink is wearing off on him as well. So,
yeah.
But legally speaking, there's no indication that anyone's kind of worked with him on any of these alleged misdeeds.
And Ryan, you alluded to the burner phone. What's the trouble with the guns?
Sure. So this was something that whenever he was originally indicted, he had to fill out a form with the court indicating how many firearms he owned so that they could be confiscated while the case works its way through the courts. And he said that he had 6 guns. It turned out he actually had 14. So he said he just didn't know, that kind of thing.
Miscounted.
It all basically speaks to like a lack of credibility.
Yeah.
And it was all just kind of like a series of strikes in the eyes of the judge, who ultimately today decided he had to go to jail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it is a fascinating story, and I'm afraid we haven't heard the end of it. Real quickly, what did he do prior to becoming sheriff?
So he was actually a sheriff's deputy for a relatively short period of time. He kind of got into a scrape or had some controversy with Sheriff Vernon Betts, who at the time was his boss, who fired Montgomery. And then Montgomery ran against him, his former boss, Vernon Betts, and won last year. And I think a lot, Betts had his own controversy that they all seem sort of small compared to what Montgomery's going for. I think a lot of people, whenever they voted for Montgomery, they were really voting against Betts. They wanted someone to kind of return some sanity and stability to the office. And I think the way that one person put it to me was that if 99 out of 100 people would have been a better sheriff than Vernon Betts, but this being St. Louis, we found the one.
I guess it's that old adage, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Well,
very well said. Yeah.
You can follow Ryan's reports online at stlmag.com. Ryan, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you guys. And I'm sure we'll be talking about the sheriff again sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment, you fill out a health questionnaire form, you get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home, and then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners, and then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
It's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. St. Louis winters don't mess around, and neither should you. When those freezing temps hit, the last thing you want to do is discover your furnace isn't up to the job. That's why now is the perfect time to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians will give your system a full checkup, making sure it's safe, efficient, and ready to keep your family warm all season long. Think of it like an oil change for your car. A little preventative care now saves you from big, expensive breakdowns later. Plus, a tuned-up system runs more efficiently, which means lower energy bills when the cold really sets in. So don't wait until you're shivering under 3 blankets. Schedule your heating inspection today with Premier Heating and Cooling. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net, 636-916-1122.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robangproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Want to get away in your own hometown? How about Innsbruck? Just 45 minutes from St. Louis, 7,500 acres, 100-plus lakes, 18-hole championship golf course, nature trails, event spaces, and so much more. Wedding venues, wedding weekends, corporate retreats. They've got A-frames and tree houses and custom homes. In fact, they have a fall home tour going on Saturday, October 18th from noon to 4. We'll see you there. To find out more, Innsbrook-Resort.com.
If you're looking for your next home, think of First Community. Our Smart Choice Home Loan offers a 30-year fixed rate of just 6.531% APR to qualified borrowers, and you only need a down payment of 10%. Whether it's your first home, your forever home, or even a vacation home, be smart with a Smart Choice loan from First Community for all your savings and all your loans. Must qualify for membership. For terms and conditions, call toll-free 1-888-642-7969. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Truck drivers, don't miss out on the unmatched consistency of a Schneider driving job. At Schneider, you can find a driving position that fits your lifestyle and goals, all while getting the pay you deserve. Plus, Schneider drivers operate state-of-the-art, well-maintained equipment and have access to award-winning benefits and a 24/7 support team. Explore Schneider's huge selection of driving jobs today and find your perfect fit at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
The McGraw-Millhaven Morning Show from 6 to 10 wants to hear from you. Join us on the 9 in the morning to voice your opinion, topic you want to talk about, questions you have, or if you just want to school McGraw. We'll take your phone calls and texts. No other station in the St. Louis area opens the airwaves to voice your opinion live. We are live and local, and you make us who we are. The Big 550 KTRS. Depend on it. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Nobody's promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I wanna be next to you.
Did you guys see this? Late last week, Lay's announced it is rebranding. It's the largest in its nearly 100-year history. And, of course, the company said it's removing the artificial flavors and colors in the U.S. and revealing a refreshed logo, bag design, and advertising. But really what they wanted to hammer home here is that the chips are made with real potatoes, which I don't eat a lot of potato chips, but doesn't Lay's even say made with real potato chips on the bag?
Currently?
Yes.
Apparently not.
Or are people just not reading it?
Most of us who eat chips could care less.
What
We're
it
just
is.
burying our face in that bag and
Going at
after
it.
it. That's
You know
exactly
what?
right.
You know what?
Like a horse's feed bag.
Uh-huh.
Now that you mention it, I'm guessing Doritos are made from corn.
What about here's
But
one.
I don't really think it matters.
Does what about Pringles? Now, if she said that's not potatoes, I'd go, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Not surprised.
But I don't know. I have no idea. I've never looked.
I thought Lay's had always, that was part of their campaign. They say the potato's journey from the soil to the shelf is the heart of Lay's. But the surprising part, 42% of people who enjoy Lay's, I guess, did not realize they're made with real farm-grown potatoes.
Well, isn't on the yellow regular bag, isn't it a show of potatoes?
Yes. And maybe that's what I'm thinking.
There are potatoes on the old bag.
Oh, there it is. You got a picture
But
of
it doesn't say made from. It just shows the potato.
Which company makes Ruffles? Because that's the best chip.
Is that Lay's? Is that no? Because Lay's has wavy Lay's.
Oh yeah,
and that's like the
Ruffle.
the competition.
I got to go Ruffles.
Do you? It's a little sturdier.
A little sturdier, a little greasier, a little saltier.
Okay, all three.
I like wavy Lay's.
See, I'm just
See,
going to
they're
go
not
with
greasy
the
enough. Oh, they're not salty enough.
Okay,
regular.
Fair enough, but yeah, Bob, you look at the new rebrand of the bag, and on the barbecue, on the sour cream and onion,
all of them,
on the yellow Lay's, it says made with real potatoes.
I'm for that, of course.
Yeah. So, but isn't it interesting how the three of us all kind of disagree on a chip? Here's what a lot of people can agree on: that Dalco Home Remodeling does everything so well, and that customer service is always at kind of the top of the list. You know, this year, 2025, is the last chance to grab a $600 tax credit on new windows. So Dalco and Target Windows and Doors are offering not only that $600 tax credit, but an additional $60 per Elite Series window. That's up to 10 windows, and it's zero financing for 18 months. So if you're, taking a step back and looking at your house and thinking, you know what, we might not have to do it this year, but we're going to have to do it next year, you might want to go ahead and schedule an appointment with Dalco Home Remodeling. Just have them come out and check it out. DalcoHomeRemodeling.com, or give them a call. 314-648-8113. So this promotion ends middle of November, and the windows have to be installed by the end of the year. But again, 2025 is the last chance to grab a $600 tax credit on new windows. And so Dalco and Target Windows and Doors are kind of adding to that with an additional $60 per Elite Series window, up to 10 windows. And again, you can't get any better. 0% financing for 18 months. So if you're considering new windows, call Dalco Home Remodeling, 314-648-8113. 10 minutes before 4 o'clock, Captain Paul, how are the roads?
Heidi, an accident on northbound 270 at Dorset is blocking the 2 right lanes with a short stop and go back up to Page. Estimated clearance time is 4:20. We have 2 crashes on southbound 170, one at 70 and another at Page. Eastbound 64 is congested from a mile east of Illinois 157 to 159, and southbound 55 is running slow from Potomac to South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. Check out the Neighbors Credit Union Debit All Day account, a checklist checking account featuring a Neighbors Visa debit card, the convenience of online and mobile banking, and access to your direct deposits up to 2 days early. Online at neighborscu.org, federally insured by NCUA, membership eligibility required. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, finally, some good news. Gas prices are dropping across the nation. Alex Stone, ABC News correspondent in L.A., joins us with more on that, even in Los Angeles.
Well, not so much in L.A.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, right now, almost $5 a gallon still here for regular unleaded. But everywhere else, for the most part, not Washington, not Hawaii, but everywhere else, this is something that we have not seen since the beginning of the pandemic. And not just gas prices coming down on average below $3 a gallon, but there have been little blips on the radar where that's gone on even a year ago. But for it to be a long period, all the way into, analysts believe, probably late February, early March, before prices will begin coming back up, that is a first in a number of years. And this is mainly due to global oil prices plummeting, and along with people drive less in the winter months, and demand goes down, supply and demand, and winter blends of gas are less expensive. So you put all that in with $60 a barrel gas or oil as it's taking a nosedive, and gas prices get really cheap. And the travel demand is still kind of waning since the pandemic. You've seen the airlines like Spirit and others that are having problems now. And a lot of that is that finally it's taken a number of years, but that balloon has burst of everybody willing to spend whatever to go travel and to get on airlines and go all over the world. But talk to Patrick DeHaan, the lead petroleum analyst at Gas Buddy. He and I chatted this morning, and he says
OPEC is certainly the significant piece of the puzzle here. With lower oil prices, the seasonal factors are also continuing to play an active role. Americans simply don't drive as much as temperatures progressively get cooler into the fall months.
And so he says oil prices are dropping so much partly because of President Trump's doing, but not in a way that necessarily will be good for all aspects of the economy. It's because of the economic uncertainty with China that will have uncertain outcomes in other ways. So going to be interesting to see, does the president tout this, as most presidents will do, to say, hey, look what I've done for your wallet, or depending on how China goes. But he says,
so potentially, finally, President Trump's desire to see stations at $1.99 could come true in the weeks ahead. All of this as oil prices plunge below $60 a barrel, some of it having to do with concerns over a potential new trade war between the U.S. and China. Oil prices now at their lowest level since 2021.
So the president can take credit for lower gas prices, but it kind of a fine line there, because it is over the issue with China and the uncertainty creating the lower prices. But there are areas of the country that are going to see even lower than this. And if right around the Gulf region, and you may get a little bit of this in the next couple of months.
Areas of the Gulf where you combine relatively low gas taxes and proximity to major refineries. States like Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Texas, and Louisiana are going to see the nation's lowest gas prices as we enter into the holiday season. Those states already well below the $3 a gallon mark. In fact, Oklahoma's state average today just $2.52 a gallon.
And some areas he thinks are going to be in the upper ones here pretty quick in the next couple of weeks. Then there's the other side of it, California, where 464, Washington State is at 445, Hawaii at 445, and not a lot of relief coming there.
The West Coast still having some refinery issues, coupled with the highest gasoline taxes in the country and CARB-mandated gasoline. California is really one of the nation's highest price states that won't really be having much of a party at the pump. California is still $4.64 a gallon.
But outside of the West Coast, these next couple of months could be really nice every time you fill up. But the other side of it is they already know that come early March, late February, all of this will reverse. And people will be getting ready to drive again, spring break, summer, that the supply and demand will cause prices to go up and oil prices to go up as well. And you go to more expensive summer blends of gasoline and will go back up pretty rapidly. But these next couple of months, it should be good and a little bit of a reprieve for drivers.
You know, I guess, Alex, it's always, trying to play the market and forecast. I remember it was just a few months ago, I read somewhere, and don't ask me where, but that...
Where did you read it?
See, you're a probing journalist. You won't let us get away with anything. That's journalism. It's never going to go back, to under $2 because of, inflation, and things just don't go backwards like that. So you mentioned the things that changed. How much does OPEC really control things? And when they make a move up or down, how often does it take to get to our gas pump?
Well, it goes up pretty quickly. It takes longer to go down.
Of course.
And historically, it's been that way. And if they limit supplies, they can pretty quickly make gas prices because oil will go up right away. And then gas, usually a week, 2 weeks later, we begin feeling it. And it's a lot slower to go back the other way. They have a lot of power. But politics has even more power. And the fight between the U.S. and China right now and the looming trade war that may or may not be coming, it's that uncertainty that historically that's, we'll see oil prices not knowing if the U.S. is going to be buying oil from China. And again, you get back to supply and demand, that all of that comes into play right now. And even more than OPEC, the traders and investors looking at it, they've got even more power.
Alex, the average price of gas in Missouri today, $2.72.
I got it for two.
I got it for you guys.
I got it for
somebody living in California. I tell you that.
Alex, I got it for $2.51 over the weekend.
Yeah, I knew I didn't like you guys. I just talked to somebody in Ohio where he said then he gets another $1 off because he goes to Kroger and it makes it like $1.13 a gallon in Ohio right now.
For him.
Oh my
so
gosh!
He can fill up for like what my tank would be like $15, and I'm spending almost. I went to Costco yesterday and filled up, and I was doing I think $4.55 a gallon for regular unleaded.
Yeah.
And you're a Costco, not a Sam's Club guy?
I've got both, but I typically go to Costco. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, Alex, thanks for sharing some good news with us today.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
It's Sarah Haynes from The View. Today, stronger immunity and better nutrition are more important than ever. That's why Eggland's Best gives you and your family more. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, all helping you to maintain a strong immune system and better overall health. Plus, you get all that farm-fresh, delicious taste. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Do you know why right now is the absolute best time to book your new patio or deck with my friends at Outdoor Living? Aside from being the best in town, these guys are really smart. They pay attention to market conditions, and they've stocked up on patio and deck supplies, including steel, all before these tariffs kicked in. So while their competitors' pricing has gone through the roof, prices have never been better at Outdoor Living. Now is the best time to call and book your summer job. Not to mention, these same competitors have sold out to large conglomerates and hedge funds. Pat Leahy and his team remain locally owned and operated, providing the best pricing and the best service in town. So, looking for a new deck or a new fence or anything outdoor? Outdoor Living, 314-966-DECK. That's 314-966-DECK. Or check them out online, Outdoor Living Inc., or check out their great showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, OutdoorLivingInc.com.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Senate expected to vote on another stopgap measure today to end the government shutdown now 2 weeks in. Democrats and Republicans are not any closer on a compromise to restore health care benefits slashed in the GOP megabill. The pain of the shutdown sinking in for 750,000 furloughed federal workers who won't see paychecks this week and others who have been fired. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
There have been about 4,000 layoffs, the White House says, across various federal agencies as a result of this shutdown. The White House has said that these layoffs are necessary to correct the balance sheet of the government, try to move money around. But the reality is we have never seen mass layoffs like this in any other government shutdown in the past.
A day after signing the U.S. peace plan in Egypt, President Trump back at the White House today, this hour holding a ceremony in the Rose Garden. The president posthumously awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom to conservative influencer Charlie Kirk and Trump ally.
5 weeks ago, our nation was robbed of this extraordinary champion. He was a champion in every way. I got to know him so well.
The nation's highest civilian award given to Kirk after he was fatally shot last month at a campus event in Utah. Earlier, the president hosted Argentina's leader for tariff talks. When asked by ABC's Karen Travers how he will get Hamas to disarm, the president issued a warning saying we want them to disarm and they will disarm. And if they don't disarm, we'll disarm them and it will happen quickly and perhaps violently. 4 more bodies of hostages killed in Gaza returned to Israel today. Hostage families are demanding all remaining 20 deceased hostages be located and returned under the ceasefire deal. The path to peace remains rocky. 5 Palestinians killed today by Israeli forces in Gaza. The IDF says they breached the ceasefire line. And the 20 surviving hostages released yesterday continue to spend time with families. You're listening to ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-549-8866. 800-549-8866. 800-549-8866.
85 degrees at 4:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery was taken into custody after a hearing today. The ruling was made after prosecutors testified that he withheld information about owning a burner phone. They said he also lied about how many guns he had at his home and had inconsistent answers about his drug use after testing positive for marijuana. A Missouri man is set to be executed today for fatally shooting a state trooper more than 20 years ago. 48-year-old Lance Shockley is scheduled to receive a lethal injection sometime after 6 p.m. today at the state prison in Bonne Terre. The Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance has issued a stern warning to halt the practice of insurance companies canceling or not renewing policies for homeowners still dealing with recovery from the catastrophic spring 2025 storms. This action comes after the department became aware of a few companies terminating coverage for Missouri consumers who are currently working to complete necessary repairs. DCI Director Angela Nelson told First Alert 4 that this is unacceptable.
We know that recovery efforts take a long period of time, but when you have the volume and severity of storms that Missouri has experienced this year, there are so many facets to the recovery process that a homeowner can't control.
Residents who are experiencing a problem are encouraged to call DCI's consumer hotline at 800-726-7390 or visit insurance.mo.gov for more information or to file a formal complaint. Changes have been made to several of Missouri's tax laws. House Bills 594 and 508 will eliminate the income tax on capital gains starting this year. Capital gains include money earned on stocks, land, or other assets held for a full year or longer. But, as we hear in this report, not everyone is in favor.
Senator Maggie Nirenburn of Kansas City is among those who will oppose this new law.
Despite this bill's passage, I remain committed to lowering costs for working families, protecting our schools from unnecessary cuts, and making sure our economy is a level playing field where everyone can win.
In addition, this new law makes changes to law enforcement sales taxes, transient guest taxes, public safety sales taxes, the senior citizens property tax credit, the broadband sales tax exemption, and emergency services sales taxes. Reporting from the state capitol, I'm Dean Morgan.
This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. After 15 years in North St. Louis County, Ferguson Brewing Company will close its doors on December 20th. Before opening, the new owners plan on doing some light renovations to the building, which is located at 418 South Florissant Avenue. The Market's brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 203 points at 46,271, NASDAQ down 164 at 22,530, and the S&P 500 down 10 at 6,644. Now for KTRS Sports and Traffic, let's go to Paul.
Steve, Mizzou football has flipped two more commitments for the class of 2026. Safety Carter Stewart backed out at Utah, and cornerback Brody Jones flipped from Cincinnati to the Tigers. Both players are listed as three-star prospects. And last night, Jimmy Snuggerud scored twice as the Blues beat the Canucks in Vancouver 5-2. It's suddenly 2 wins in a row for the Note, with the Blackhawks coming to Enterprise Center on Wednesday night. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. They've cleared an accident on northbound 270 at Dorset. Eastbound 64 is congested from Illinois 157 to 159. Westbound 64 crowded from Kings Highway to Hampton. And southbound 55 is running slow from Gasconade to South Broadway. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our forecast calls for mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day. Mostly clear tonight, a low around 60. Sunny tomorrow with a high near 86. At 4:07, we have sunshine, 85 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio, proud supporter of breast cancer awareness and KTRS Pink. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcast? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Yeah, stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things, uninterrupted at amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon, right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All our headlines for this Tuesday afternoon, October 14th. Clayton Rooster to close in October. In a social media post, Bailey's Restaurants announced that the Clayton restaurant would close after service on Sunday, October 26th. The post reads, in part, despite our best efforts, the current economic climate has presented challenges that we, like many others, could not fully overcome. The lasting impacts of COVID, rising cost of goods, and increased rents have made it difficult to sustain operations at this location. It went on to say they'll be refocusing energy on the original Rooster locations. There's one in downtown and, of course, on South Grand. So, Rooster, I mean, I will say this. They have some great Bloody Marys.
Oh.
And so many choices.
I'm on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was disappointed. I've got a story that I can use as we get closer to Halloween.
Okay.
About mummies.
Ooh.
I'll leave it at that.
Mummies.
But this one just popped up in light of your potato chip story.
Okay.
PepsiCo announces makeovers for Doritos and Cheetos.
What?
Josh, you're a Doritos guy. PepsiCo says its biggest snack brands are about to get a healthy new look. They announced plans to remove artificial colors and flavors from Doritos and Cheetos and other of their popular snack brands.
I wonder if this has to do with all the coloring as well.
I think so. It says fiber will be the new trend. Consumers in the United States have deficiency of fiber, and we're innovating in fiber. Okay, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Will it be as good? That's the thing we're all questioning. Among the dyes targeted, of course, as you point out, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, which are found in Doritos, nacho cheese. Cheetos likewise has yellow 6 in it. So they're making changes. I think it'll be for the better, but if it's not as good, Josh, will you be mad? Healthier but angrier?
One of the restaurants changed their turkey, and they were, it's all natural turkey. And it actually made it worse. And they've kind of snuck it back and went back to the old turkey that they used to use. And it's great.
They want caged turkey that's tortured. It tastes better.
I mean, you don't have to say it like that.
I'm just asking.
It probably won't be in the marketing. Somebody said they went camping this weekend and they found a new flavor of Pringles, smoky bacon.
Now, I don't like fake flavors, but I would try that.
Smoky bacon is a perfect camping flavor, I'll tell you that.
I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading that story Bob was just talking about, and I must have missed this when Heidi was discussing the Lay's chips. Lay's is marketing the new snack as a healthy option.
Real potatoes.
Because it contains truly only potatoes, oil, and salt.
Mm-hmm.
Did they forget the fact that they mentioned the oil and the salt? And frankly, the potato, which has no real,
That's not true. Potato has some nutrients.
Okay.
We can go back. Remember you were questioning the banana?
The banana,
and
right.
the granola bar, I think, yeah.
I don't think the potato chip,
I wouldn't say the potato chip is going to be a healthy option.
Millions of Irish people might disagree.
Oh, the healthy option for potato chips. Why am I arguing it, guys?
Right.
Why am I arguing? All right. This is on the back of Heidi's story, talking about how everything is just more expensive now. 5 years ago, the average new vehicle cost roughly $40,000. Today, that average is over $50,000. In 5 years, it's gone up $10,000, and it illustrates the rapid escalation of prices and the transformation of what constitutes a typical new car purchase in the U.S. It really just seems like everything has gotten a lot more expensive
and it
over the
seems
course of 5 years.
Like it's coming so much faster at us. Like maybe that 10 grand over 15 years is a little easier to take, but over 5, it's like, holy cow.
I bet prices jumped the same percentage over the last 20 years as they have the following 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right, somebody can check me on this. I bought my first new car around 1980, maybe early 81, somewhere in there. And I think it was brand new. It was a Chevy. I think for about $5,000.
Wow, brand new.
Yeah, it was terrible. My dad made me get it because it was practical. It was the Chevy.
$5,000.
with a kind of a hatchback.
Well, I'm pretty sure that my dad paid like $4,000 for that Bronco in '74.
That sounds about right, doesn't it? So we're talking about really basically the
think
70s.
You're in there.
And so now, that same car, although they wouldn't make a piece of junk like that anymore, I hope, or you wouldn't buy it, is probably nearly 10 times as much. 8 times anyway, right?
Well, this article goes on to say the once common $20,000 car
is not common.
Is gone from dealership lots. We can talk to Darren about that on Thursday.
Because he does have a $26,000.
Some of those Kias, the
K4,
4 and 5. Brendan, my son, has a 4, and I think it was around 26 maybe, but he got it tricked out a little bit. And he could have got it for less, 22 maybe.
Average Americans who are budget focused are shifting towards used vehicles or have chosen to keep existing cars for longer.
Yep.
S&P Global shows the average age of cars on American roads are 12 years or older. That's the average.
Yeah.
The average. So,
for me, it's not years as much as miles. I had a Honda Ridgeline truck.
Condition,
and we got it in 06. My daughter, I drove it to death. Then my daughter drove it to more death. And finally, it became a farm truck of a friend that bought it from us. And it finally died this past spring. That's an 06.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I've got a 2017 Toyota, and we fixed the axle on it. It feels like a brand new car.
Yeah.
I'm like ready to drive it until Finn's ready to take over.
There you go.
Here's the bad news. Pricing dynamics in September were also affected by tariffs. Currently, the manufacturers are eating a lot of them, but that ain't going to last forever.
That's right.
So
one way or the other, it'll change. You're right.
Expect the prices to go up even more.
Yeah, well, we're talking about keeping that older model of car, and I'm with you. Mine's a 2016 and has almost 90,000 miles, and I was looking at it this weekend thinking, is it time? Because I really like my car, but I don't want to get into that point where you're paying more to fix it than you are for a payment. And I'm like, well, that's a car. When it comes to me, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that I feel like I am the best me possible. And thankfully, Premier U has helped me do that. Premier U, which Jordan was in yesterday and really broke it down differently. I mean, this is weight loss with the medical supervision. And watching Jordan last week with a friend, it just reminded me of how thorough and the difference of how Jordan looks at all of those different blood panels than a typical doctor. They look for different things. And where a doctor might see something as this might be a problem, Jordan says, let's tackle it right now and let's fix X, Y, and Z. That's what you can get at Premier U. You really get that one-on-one help where they look at everything a little differently. It is functional medicine. They help treat thyroid disorders. They can help with headaches and even your gastrointestinal issues. But what I turn to Premier U for is that medical weight loss, and it has been fantastic, not just for me, but for Marsha as well. I have not met anyone that it has not worked for with the help of Premier, because they're there to hold your hand. You're weighing in every month, once a month, and they're making sure that not only are you losing the proper fat, but you're keeping that muscle, and there's a lot of tools that they can do to help with that. So make your appointment to start feeling better at PremierUmed.com. Premier, the letter U, med.com, or you can call and schedule your appointment, 618-750-LIFE.
Do you know why right now is the absolute best time to book your new patio or deck with my friends at Outdoor Living? Aside from being the best in town, these guys are really smart. They pay attention to market conditions, and they've stocked up on patio and deck supplies, including steel, all before these tariffs kicked in. So while their competitors' pricing has gone through the roof, prices have never been better at Outdoor Living. Now is the best time to call and book your summer job. Not to mention, these same competitors have sold out to large conglomerates and hedge funds. Pat Leahy and his team remain locally owned and operated, providing the best pricing and the best service in town. So, looking for a new deck or a new fence or anything outdoor? Outdoor Living, 314-966-DECK. That's 314-966-DECK. Or check them out online, Outdoor Living Inc., or check out their great showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Julie Buck here for the Only Facial. If you want great skin, and I mean, who doesn't, then pop into the Only Facial and get a facial. They've got so many steps to this process, and it's one price, $125. No tipping, no upsells, no product sales, just a fabulous facial, including microderm abrasion and dermaplaning, and of course, therapeutic massage, just to name a few of the things that will happen during your facial at the Only Facial, with locations all over St. Louis. Also in Overland Park, Kansas, too. So if you're in the KC area, you'll know that you can just go to the Only Facial and get that same facial that you know and love, that you get in Frontenac, that you get in Clayton, that you get in Columbia, Missouri, Sunset Hills, all over town. Look for it. They're pink. You can't miss them, and it's fabulous. It's called The Only Facial, and you can find out more online and book now, too, at theonlyfacial.com.
Every day, another adventure. Our greatest discoveries come when we stop searching. Beneath the endless sky, away from the stress of work, the answer to the ancient Zen mystery. The sound of one hand clapping. Take a trip in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement, and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing, online at aroofing.net.
You are a successful electrical contractor, but you plus a dedicated team supporting your project from day one? That's taking your productivity to the next level. And Graybar can help you get there. Your relationships plus our relationships. Your capabilities plus our job site services. Your challenges plus our technical specialists. You alone can get the job done, but you plus Graybar, that's smart business. Yep, Graybar does that.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. This is the Business Journal Report with editor Eric Seamers on the Heidi Glaus Show. Powered by Capital Advisory Group. CapitalAdvisoryGRP.com.
The St. Louis Business Journal, always on top of what's going on in and around St. Louis when it comes to business. Eric Seamers, the editor, is back with a couple of stories about some long-standing restaurants. So, Eric, let's start with Chris's Pancakes and plans to add a new location.
Yeah, so Chris's Pancakes has been around for quite a while. They've got a couple locations in the area, including one I'm familiar with downtown, attached to the SLU Law School.
Oh, yeah, Chris is at the docket.
Chris is at the docket, that's right. And now they are making a move. They're looking to expand into St. Louis County, specifically to a shopping center called Ronnie's Plaza, where they're going to take over the space of a former TGI Fridays.
Great spot.
Yeah, it is a fun spot.
And so this is a family-owned restaurant. They've been around for quite a while. Breakfast place. The developers down there who are updating the Ronnie's Plaza era have added the Starbucks. They were looking for a complimentary restaurant that might sort of pair well with it, and they ended up attracting this family-owned restaurant. The family, in addition to those the Chris's breakfast restaurants, they also operate the Bartolino's restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Bartolino South, Bartolino's The Hill, Bartolino's Osteria. So they're well invested in the St. Louis community, and of course their original location is in South St. Louis. It opened in 1987, so they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to Chris's Pancakes in years. I'm guessing like a lot of kind of diner places, they also offer food at night. Like, will they be open in the evening?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Have to presume
I think the
that this one
mid-afternoon,
will
maybe?
open the same way the previous ones do, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've known the Saracinos for a long, long time. When I first started in radio, we used to hang out at Bartolino's there at the edge of the hill. Really great people, and I think they really get fresh food and service. And sometimes that gets lost, and I think they figured that out, that there's a huge value there.
And while you were talking, I looked it up. They serve from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
4 p.m., yeah.
Okay, so late afternoon. That's good.
That is. The other story was about a for sale sign going up in front of Haciendas, which has been around since 1968.
Yeah, so the good news on this for fans of Hacienda is they're not closing. The family made it that very clear in their sign, but they're looking for a new location. They've gone through ups and downs with the pandemic, and the property they're on
is massive.
Basically, it's massive, and they say that it's a 150-year-old building on 3 acres. But the business it gets slower in the winter season.
Yeah,
it's hard to maintain. So they decided to list the property for sale while they explore opportunities to relocate to a new space.
Wow.
So this isn't like we're going tomorrow. This is them sort of seeing what's available to them on the market.
Eric, they've done such a good job over the years in, with the outdoor space, as you point out, though, is spring, summer, fall, and that's, after that. But they did make it a really terrific atmosphere. And part of the, I think part of the allure of the old 150-year-old building or whatever you said it was, is it got all these little different side rooms and areas in there. But, maintenance is, I can see that being a real struggle.
But I also only went to Hacienda for the most part because of that awesome patio. Rarely would I have chosen to eat inside when I go there.
I went for the food.
I did too. And the patio hasn't always been as big as it is. It started out as a smaller patio.
Yeah.
It has just become. Hey, I want to talk to you, Eric, about the thing I've been waiting for forever. And I just saw a social media post, and I know you probably know more than I do, about the sports bra. This is one of the first franchises. It's only going to show women's sports, and now we know where the St. Louis location is going to be.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about the sports bra a couple months ago when they first announced this. This is a Portland, Oregon-based concept. There was one location. It was really successful. They decided they were going to offer franchises to sort of grow their brand elsewhere. And there was a couple of St. Louis owners emerged, but they didn't have a location. Now they're saying they're going to occupy a space in Maplewood.
Okay.
At 7344 Manchester Road, owned by operators Heather Hill and Sarah Pilsner. The site had been vacated last year when the previous occupant called Boogaloo.
So it is along that main route right there.
Yeah, that place referred to itself as the Bar with the Swing.
Yep.
Closed permanently in June 2024 after 21 years in business. And they've already started work on the new space. They hope the bar and restaurant is open in early 2026. They even have some signage out inside in front of that location now that says coming early 2026.
Well, that is exciting. All right, to some more serious news maybe. David Hoffman, who wanted to transform Augusta, also wants to invest in Lee Enterprises, who, of course, owns the Post-Dispatch, and he has some concerns.
Yeah, so David Hoffman has, in his company based out of Florida, the Hoffman Family Companies, has a whole media division where they started to buy up small to medium-sized newspapers across the country. And they've been very interested in Lee, mostly for its regional newspapers. But Lee, of course, owns the Post-Dispatch along with some other major daily newspapers like the Buffalo News and a few Omaha World Herald, things like that. So they bought into that company and eventually grew to be its second largest shareholder. And they wanted to buy it all out until Lee amended what they call a so-called poison pill shareholder rights plan, in which if somebody comes in and tries to buy like another, say, more than like 15% of the company, it would enact a process where those share prices get so prohibitively expensive, and sort of prevents them from doing so. But David Hoffman over the last year has sort of said he's expressed faith in the Lee management, and he liked the management, liked the direction they were taking. But recent changes announced at the Post and other holdings of Lee has really turned David Hoffman in the opposite direction. A couple of things they've done recently: they eliminated Feast magazine, their food magazine locally. We talked about this last week. They ended the Monday print edition. And this set off David Hoffman and the CEO of his media company, Payson Gaddis, to send a letter to Lee management, essentially urging them to. They say these recent developments is drifting the company off course. They say they're favoring short-term cost cuts and minimalism over strategic leadership, innovation, and reinvestment. In short, what they're basically saying is that they seem to see a company that favors more of cost cutting to increase profit margins than they are building a company that's growing and built to last. And they're concerned that trajectory appears sort of to disproportionately benefit the near-term leadership of that company for success at the expense of long-term value for their shareholders. So they really want the company to go through a comprehensive review, to slow personnel cuts, invest in their digital products, recalibrate how their executives are compensated and their incentives so that they're rewarded for growth, not cutting. And they threaten if they're continuing that path, they're going to really push them. They've already said they want to invest as much as $50 million into that company.
And Eric, do they have any stake in it right now?
Yes, they're the second largest shareholder.
Okay.
And they have made an offer to invest up to $25 million to $50 million to become its largest shareholder. But they put in this so-called poison pill provision that right now makes it very difficult to do that. So really what they're doing here is they're ratcheting up the pressure on Lee's ownership to try to make changes, and really trying to lobby to make the case that they want to be the ones who own this company eventually.
And how many times, Eric, you work at the Business Journal, how many times do you see companies just bleed the thing dry? All the execs.
In the newspaper industry,
yeah,
it's unfortunately common.
Yeah.
They take the golden parachutes and get out, and we're left with little to no newspaper at all.
Well, especially when we've seen newspaper companies. Now, Lee is a publicly traded company, so you get to see how they're financing things. But we've seen this a lot when private equity ownership buys into a media operation, that they start to cut and they cut and they cut. And the idea is that they can sort of shave costs off to keep the profit margin, fairly wide, so they can continue to make money off it even as the product around it deteriorates. Because this news production is not cheap.
Mm-mm.
It requires skilled, talented people to produce it, and that requires constant investment. And when your revenue sources continue to get shakier and shakier by the year without reinvention and without putting in the hard work to create something that's on solid foundation, it becomes really hard to continue making those investments. And we have not, and what the Hoffmans are saying here is they see a company that is not willing to get inventive, to get creative, to put the effort into restoring growth around these assets, and they're instead cutting and cutting and cutting to pad the profit margin.
Yeah. Interesting. Last but not least, Eric, the Blues have inked a sports betting deal. What do you know?
Yeah, so they've reached a multi-year deal they announced this morning with Underdog, a New York-based sports betting company, sports gaming company. They claim to be the fastest-growing sports company in the U.S. They were founded in 2020. As a company themselves, they're a so-called unicorn. They hit the $1.2 billion valuation in March when they went public. Basically the Blues, as sports betting, sports gambling becomes legal in Missouri starting in December 1st, they have really aligned themselves up with one of the sort of the hottest names in sports gaming, sports betting, as their licensed partner. So you're going to start to see a lot of marketing materials involving Underdog promoting themselves using the Blues imagery and intellectual property as sort of what's happening here is sports books are a sponsorship opportunity in the way you used to see and still see Pepsi is the official sponsor of the St. Louis Blues, or Papa John's Pizza is the sports gaming brands are now part of that sort of mix you're going to see universally at stadiums going forward.
Yeah. Well, I just watched the Blues on FanDuel. Do you anticipate anybody with hurt feelings or issues moving forward?
They're two separate sponsorships. I mean, FanDuel has bought the naming rights to the regional sports network that airs the Blues on a separate contract. The Blues then are not conflicted by having their own sports book that they work with for in-stadium marketing and as an official sponsorship partner.
Okay.
So I guess it would be different if the Blues were the proprietary owners of the regional sports network, but that's not the case. In this case, they have a contract to partner with a separate company that does their broadcasting.
Very interesting. It does seem like that'd be kind of murky waters there. Eric, always great to chat with you, and you can read more about what's happening in business news in our area online at bizjournals.com/St. Louis.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group, and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours. Let us show you how tax-smart investment strategies can protect your wealth. Give us a call at 636-394-5524, or you can visit us on the web at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Keep What's Yours, Saturday afternoons at 3.
436, Captain Paul, how are the roads?
Heidi, the latest is an accident on southbound 270 at Page. It's blocking the two right lanes with traffic backed up to Dorset. That adds to the jam on 270 south, which extends down to Manchester. There's a crash on the eastbound 44 on-ramp from Hampton. Estimated clearance time there is 5:10. Eastbound 64 is congested from Illinois 157 to 159. Westbound 64 is crowded from Kings Highway to Hampton and in Lake St. Louis. And southbound 55 is running slow from Gasconade to South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, KTRS weather.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Another mild but above normal night, low down to 61 degrees. And then warm and well above normal afternoon again, a high of 84, partly to mostly cloudy at times. But the warm and dry pattern continues for Wednesday, and it goes right into Thursday, although more sunshine, mostly sunny, and a high of 83 Thursday afternoon. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
Yeah, they're on the med, and these medications are used, these GLP-1s, for reducing inflammation in your body. I get so many folks that are like, wow, I don't have the knee pain. I don't have the...
Because once you start losing weight, all these other things naturally happen to you in a positive way. Not just talk about the deals for KTRS listeners at stlmedweightloss.com.
All KTRS listeners, they get $50 to $100 off their first month. And what's beautiful about it, too, hey, I get it. the economy, what we just had. Guys, things are difficult right now, but we make the plan work for you. We have financing options. We make this work for you because we realize how important it is to get down in your weight, get your confidence back, and really start feeling like the old you.
Call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Truck drivers, the holiday rush is here. Take advantage by becoming a Schneider driver. By driving for one of America's busiest carriers, you'll stay busy during the holiday season and throughout the new year. Plus, as a Schneider driver, you'll have access to top quality driver support and newer equipment spec'd with the latest safety and comfort features that drivers want. Don't wait. Get a jump on 2026 by exploring jobs in your area today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a Banner Day.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your dentures no longer fit? Maybe you're missing a tooth or several teeth. Visit Dr. Bowen for Simply Secure Dentures and Dental Implants. The cutting-edge, high-quality dental implants that replace all the teeth in your mouth, and it starts as low as $7,000, not the $35,000 that others charge. If you're only missing a few teeth, Dr. Bowen can permanently replace those with something you don't have to take in and out of your mouth. Learn more at simplysecuredentures.com and get the care you need and the teeth you want at Bowen Dental Care or simplysecuredentures.com. Have you seen all the 5-star reviews Michael's Baths has gotten on Google? How about their A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau? Everyone, including the nanny, raves about Michael's friendly office staff and their experienced installation team. With over 30 years of experience, all they do is bathrooms. They're not trying to be the biggest. They just want to be the best. Right now, get a free shower door or $500 off your bathroom remodel. Call Michael's Baths, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
We have to talk a little sports, especially since we have Mr. Baseball in the room, Bob Ramsey, a.k.a. Rammer. I don't know that I've ever seen a double play ball quite like what I saw last night, and I might need you to explain it to me.
I couldn't even conceive of it until it was explained. It kind of comes down to 2 different rules for a catch, one for the person making the catch and another one for a runner. And I don't think I was fully aware of the what the runner gets to do. So for those who didn't see the game, bases loaded, 1 out, fly ball, and I think it would have gone out of the park, don't you?
It was right at the top. Close.
Right at the top. So the Milwaukee center fielder, Frelick, goes up to try and rob the home run, went off the edge of his glove, okay? That's not a catch. It grazed the wall. He comes down and it drops. It's in the air, and he grabs it. That's not a catch.
He grabbed it with his bare hand, or did he grab it with his glove? Okay,
but
yeah.
It hit the wall, so it nullifies him being able to make a catch for an out. But he immediately, smartly throws it in to the infield. They threw home, And what happened was the runners didn't know whether it was a catch or not. So rather than tagging immediately and moving up, they sort of froze. Then the runner at third started to come home much too late. He was an easy out. The runner at second, Will Smith, had no idea what was going on. He was just standing there, so they were able to get a double play on 2 force outs. So for the fielder, typically you've got to pull the ball out of your glove, willfully pull the ball out to make it a catch. But for a runner to tag up, as soon as it touches the glove, you're free to go. And it prevents an outfielder from juggling and all the other things that could happen on purpose or accidentally. I'm not sure I knew that rule. And clearly the players didn't. But to their credit, to support them a little bit, could you really see what was going on out there? Could you see it touch the wall? Because had it touched his glove and then he caught it in the air.
Without it touching the wall, it would have been out.
But that would have only been the second out.
And
the
they would have
runners,
tagged up.
And the runners could have come home on the first touch of the glove. So, yeah, it was really, really crazy.
And I'm not sure the center fielder knew what was happening.
No, in fact, for those of you who enjoy reading lips, like I do, especially in athletics, after he threw it in, he looked at his outfield partner and said, "What the heck just happened?"
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was really a fantastic night of sports because
oh my gosh.
Both baseball games.
Both football games. And Blues hockey played great.
That's right.
It was a fantastic night.
Yeah, it
no
really
doubt
was exciting to watch. And you never knew until, as they say, the big lady saying, who was going to win.
Absolutely.
You had to watch it until the final out or till the final tick of that clock as far as football goes. It was really just kind of crazy.
It was really a fun night of sports. If you're a sports fan at all, you didn't have to watch any commercials.
No.
Flip.
Just keep going. Now, maybe you're...
Hey, we like commercials here, Bob.
No, when you're listening on the Big 550, it's an important part of the experience.
That's exactly right. And, a lot of people maybe sports isn't their thing. They'd rather curl up on the couch, with a good book. And I got to tell you, I occasionally like to do that as well. And you can find any and every book you could possibly imagine at St. Louis County Library's many branches. They really offer so much. And it's not just, novels for adults. They have kids' books and they have teens' books and they have author events like no other. I feel like there is an author coming to town to the Clark Family Branch almost daily, and it is such a fantastic experience. But then they also offer the Library of Things, where you can go and you can check out a fishing pole if you want to, or a telescope if you want to check out the stars. It really is an incredible place, and it just continues to add more options, like the Emerson History and Genealogy Center, where you can really dig into your own family histories, or the Teen Creative Lab, where your teenager can make a fun video or a recording of something, because they've got the recording studio and the green screen wall. There really is something for everyone when it comes to the St. Louis County Library, and you can see what I'm talking about online at slcl.org.
Recently, a good friend of mine was changing the light fixture in their kitchen, and they took the light fixture off the ceiling, and they looked inside the ceiling and said, "What is the phone number to Michael Baldy?" If they would have listened to me, they would have put Michael Baldy's phone number in their phone, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. So here you go. The next time you need an electrician, you need to remember Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. So the phone number, 314-968-9999. Indoor, outdoor, an old Victorian home, knob and tube wiring, and anything and everything in between. You see, Michael Baldy is a licensed electrician, and he has a team ready to go. Whether it's something for the ceiling in the kitchen, something for the lights for the holidays, whatever it may be, Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. BaldyElectric.com, 314-968-9999, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. BaldyElectric.com.
I'm Jill Farmer for TB Exteriors, your choice for professional roofing, gutter, siding, and windows in the St. Louis metro area. They'll help you with your roofing insurance claims for residential or commercial roofs. They're CertainTeed Select Shingle Masters and offer the highest level warranties. Right now, mention KTRS and get $500 off a full roof replacement. Call TB Exteriors at 636-362-9503 or visit tbexteriorsmo.com to schedule a free estimate.
Hey there, it's Julie Buck, and I'm here with Jeff Zufall. He's the Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group. He's also the author of the #1 best-selling book on the new tax laws. It's called Keep What's Yours. Jeff, this October, what do we need to know?
Julie, October is officially Financial Planning Month. The One Beautiful Bill Act locked in many of the tax laws set to revert back to the 2017 rules. But there were also changes to the tax code in this law, and we can help. Since 1976, thousands of businesses have relied upon the tax strategies offered by Capital Advisory Group to help them reduce their future tax liability and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. If you're not taking full advantage of the tax law and you feel like you're paying more than your fair share, then let us help you plan for 2026 and take advantage of the new tax rules.
Give Capital Advisory Group a call, 636-394-5524. Online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Are you in the custom home market? The one name to know, Workhorse Construction. Brock Harvey, former Mizzou football player, has built Workhorse Construction with 17 years of experience, 17 years of quality control, and Workhorse Construction has 17 years of beautiful, one-of-a-kind designs and styles. Brock Harvey and his partners have built Workhorse Construction to be the best, and you need to see it for yourself. WorkhorseCG.com. That's WorkhorseCG.com.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at WowDiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Royal Oaks is going to break down a couple of cases for us in just a minute. But first, let's get a check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, the latest is a crash on southbound 270 at Tesson Ferry with a stop and go back up to 44. An accident on southbound 270 at Page is blocking the two right lanes with traffic backed up to Dorset. Estimated clearance time is 5:20. That adds to the jam on 270 south, which extends to 64. There's a crash on the eastbound 44 on-ramp from Hampton. Eastbound 64 is congested from Illinois 157 to 159. Westbound 64 is crowded from Kings Highway to Hampton and in Lake St. Louis. And southbound 55 is running slow from Gasconade to South Broadway. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, as you have probably heard, New York Attorney General Letitia James, who successfully brought a civil fraud case against Donald Trump last year. It leads multiple lawsuits challenging his administration policies, was indicted on federal charge of bank fraud and a charge of making false statements to a financial institution. Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst, joins us to kind of explain the charges. And what are we looking at here, and how serious of a charge is this?
Well, it's very serious in the sense that if convicted, she could spend several years behind bars. But here's what happened. When you own your primary home, you get a loan on it on certain terms. When you go to the bank and say, hey, I've got a second house, I'd like a loan on that, it's a big deal whether it's a rental, who knows what kind of condition it might be in, or if it's your second vacation home. In her case, she allegedly lied and said, "Oh, it's a vacation home," when it was actually a rental, and she saved $19,000 on the loan cost. Now, is this a hanging offense? Well, some people are saying that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You got at least part of the motivation of the prosecutions against Trump, for example, Stormy Daniels, was political. They turned a misdemeanor into a felony, and so some people are saying, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah, very interesting. And to make a false statement to a financial institution, how did they come about this? Who actually dug into it?
Well, the Federal Housing Finance Agency just several months ago came up with a report saying, well, we think that Letitia James misrepresented the facts about her intent to have either a rental or a vacation home. That got passed on to the prosecutions, the staff at the DOJ. And, a few weeks ago, the U.S. attorney there in the Eastern District of Virginia quit because he said there's too much pressure on me to go after Letitia Jones and others, and I just don't think it's fair. So he's replaced by Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, who is not hesitating to go forward with the indictment of Letitia James.
Now, Royal, does it make a difference if this was a personal home that she just last year turned into a rental? Does the timeline play a role?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the bottom line is when she makes certain representations to banks, to mortgage officials months ago, what was going on? What was in her mind? What was her intent? And, of course, that may be one reason why some prosecutors in the DOJ thought this case isn't exactly locked and loaded. But, yeah, if things change, her excuse could be, it was just simply an error. At this point now, there are two ways to go. The judge, an appointee by President Biden, by the way, could dismiss the case because, of course, she's going to file a motion to dismiss, saying it's legally flawed, no factual basis. If the judge doesn't dismiss it, then it's up to a jury in Norfolk, Virginia, as to whether or not she is going to be convicted.
Is it weird or telling that normally with fraud cases, there's conspiracy charges and then there's wire fraud because you actually have to, move money around and there's multiple charges. Is it weird that there's just one charge here?
Yeah, right now it's just bank fraud, making false statements to a bank. But the prosecution has the right to add to the charges. As long as they're not blowing a statute of limitations, they are entitled to expand it. And as you say, in this kind of case, usually you've got multiple accounts, possibly multiple defendants. So we may not know exactly what the scope of the case by the DOJ is for a while.
Royal, it may not make a difference, and it may not be true. I thought I saw a report, but not verified, that in that home in Virginia, that she may have kind of been harboring a relative fugitive. That can't be true, can it? Is this a smear campaign?
I have not heard that. That's fascinating. But, Trump's critics are going to say, my goodness, this is piling on.
Yeah.
But if there's any evidence to support it, you can bet the prosecution's going to say, and by the way, she not only did A, but she did B as well.
Yeah.
More to follow on that.
But, Royal, I seem to remember Donald Trump and the Trump Organization and their CFO getting hit with tax fraud for doing a lot of shady stuff in business. I can't imagine Donald Trump's been a real estate mogul in New York City for 40 years and hasn't committed bank fraud of some form.
Well, and, funny you mention that. That was the nuclear core of the case that was brought by Letitia James. She basically said that when Donald Trump was asked by banks, he wants a big loan. He said, my property is worth a gigantic sum. When he went to the tax authorities explaining why he paid so little taxes, he said, no, the same property is worth far less. And so that was the falsification of records that she focused on, Letitia James. In the civil case, you remember, that resulted in Trump being ordered to pay hundreds of millions of dollars, which fortunately for them got wiped out recently. But there are plenty of allegations on all sides.
Royal, you're a busy guy today because just this morning the Supreme Court rejected the appeal from conservative commentator and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Where does that stand?
Yeah, well, that's the end of the line is where it stands. You remember, he had been hit by a jury for almost $1 billion. A judge added about $500 million on top of that. So he loses in the Court of Appeals above that. Now he goes up to the U.S. Supreme Court and says, hey, you guys are my last help. And today they said no. No explanation. They just said no. Sorry, Mr. Jones, you're not getting any relief from us. So unless he's got the power of prayer going for him, or perhaps The Hague, this is it.
Yeah.
Is he still working and doing a radio show throughout all of this?
My understanding is that absolutely some people are still sending money to this guy who the reason he was hit with this gigantic, unfathomably large defamation verdict is because you remember when those children were murdered in the 2012 Sandy Hook massacre shooting, he went on the radio and said, it didn't happen. It's all a hoax by the anti-gun people. And the parents of the kids said, we're not taking this lying down. They took him to court and they won big time.
And Royal, will they ever see a penny of that?
Probably not much. He went to bankruptcy court, and when you do that, then first the judge says, all right, you can keep the shirt on your back and your car and your house and so on, but the rest of the money goes to your creditors. And so now into the future, since, of course, the creditors have not been paid $1.5 billion, anything he gets that he can't convince a bankruptcy judge is fair for him to keep, he has to hand over. It's kind of like back in the day, O.J. Simpson owed $33 million to the families of the two people he killed, and they have maybe gotten a couple of $100,000 out of it because he's very clever about where his money went.
Yes.
He was clever.
Well, Royal, we always appreciate you kind of sorting through these things. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks.
All right, it's quitting time for a lot of folks on this Tuesday afternoon, but we've got more to get to, including the one, the only, one of the funniest people on the planet. Kathleen Madigan joins us to give us a recap of her sold-out show here at Stiefel over the weekend and what she has coming up.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app. Powered by JBL Financial. Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Tensions remain high in the Middle East a day after the release of all 20 living hostages and President Trump signing the U.S. peace deal in Egypt. The Red Cross and IDF say they've received 4 more deceased hostages today from Gaza. 20 dead hostages in Gaza have yet to be located. 5 Palestinians were killed today, the IDF says, after crossing the ceasefire line. So far, Hamas is not laying down its arms, part 2 of the phase.
President Trump issuing a stark warning to Hamas, telling me at the White House Tuesday.
And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently.
The president said Hamas knows he is, quote, not playing games. I asked what deadline he would put on the group before taking action. He said, quote, a reasonable period of time. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
President Trump hosting Argentina's leader today, with the U.S. signing off on a $20 billion currency swap with Argentina's central bank, a move that has angered many American farmers who say the bailout allows Argentina to sell its soybeans to China and other countries. The president says China is engaging in an economically hostile act by not buying American soybeans and says the U.S. may slap an embargo on cooking oil. New tariffs going into effect today now on imports of furniture, lumber, and kitchen cabinets. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says it will likely create a ripple effect.
We are already hearing home builders and the National Association of Home Builders kind of sound the alarm about this new set of tariffs. They put out a statement last week saying that these tariffs will create additional headwinds for an already challenged housing market by raising construction and renovation costs. So another notch in what could ultimately mean higher prices for builders and homeowners and consumers too.
The government shutdown now heading into a third week. The Senate's scheduled to take a vote tonight on a stopgap measure to end it, but lawmakers are deadlocked over health care benefits. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
84 degrees at 5:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter.
St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals today after a federal court hearing. Montgomery's lawyer says he plans to file an appeal. Today's hearing came days after Montgomery faced additional felony charges in federal court. The U.S. Air Force is feeling the effects of the Boeing strike in the St. Louis area.
The ongoing Boeing strike is delaying the fighter jet production in the St. Louis area. General Kenneth Wilsbach told the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee in written testimony that deliveries of F-15EX fighter jets had been anticipated this year, but, quote, are being delayed due to the ongoing Boeing strike. Boeing workers began walking the picket lines on August 4th. No new talks have been scheduled to end this labor dispute. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
Missourians eligible for Medicare are being encouraged to review their plan options and costs during this year's open enrollment period, which began today and runs through December the 7th. Free assistance is now available through Missouri's State Health Insurance Assistance Program, which also helps those on a limited income determine whether they qualify for a subsidy or Medicare savings program. As Halloween approaches, here are some tips about how you can be sure that cannabis edibles aren't mistaken for candy.
Cannabis items like edibles can sometimes get mistaken for sweets. Last year, Missouri passed regulations on packaging for marijuana-related products. The rules include edible packages can only be one color, but they can have up to 2 logos of different colors, and the word marijuana must be prominently printed on the outside. Cannabis experts say the key in packaging is to look for resealable packages because candy wrappers do not have resealable packages, cannabis does. If you think a child may have consumed an edible containing THC, call the Poison Control Center hotline immediately at 800-222-1222. Sobey Bay, KTRS News.
And St. Louis Taco Week began today. A number of area restaurants are taking part and offering discounts on tacos and beverages through Sunday. Organizers say that Taco Tuesdays just aren't enough. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The large construction project at New Pogue Road and Illinois 3 in Hartford is progressing, and construction should wrap up in the second quarter of 2026. The project is a 134,000 square foot warehouse and distribution center for LKQ Corporation, a provider of auto parts. Time now for the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk and Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 203 points at 46,271, NASDAQ down 164 at 22,530, and the S&P 500 down 10 at 6,644. Now let's go to Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve, Mizzou basketball is on the outside looking in on the preseason AP Top 25, but did still receive some votes. Meanwhile, the Illini comes in ranked number 17. And last night, Jimmy Snuggerud scored twice as the Blues beat the Canucks in Vancouver 5-2. It's suddenly 2 wins in a row for the Note, with the Blackhawks coming to Enterprise Center on Wednesday night. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on eastbound 64 at Illinois 157 is blocking the 2 right lanes with traffic jammed back to 111. Emergency vehicles are on southbound 170 at Ladue with traffic jammed back to Olive. A crash on southbound 270 at Gravois is causing a stop and go back up to Doherty Ferry. And there's a crash on northbound 141 at 44. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
We're looking for mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day, then mostly clear tonight with an overnight low around 60. Sunny tomorrow with a high near 86. At 7 minutes past 5 o'clock, sunshine, 84 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts, it's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
She was just back in her hometown to play a sold-out show at Stiefel Theater. Today, my friend, the funniest person on the planet, Kathleen Madigan, is joining us with a recap and some breaking news. Welcome back. Have you recovered?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that was quite a weekend. There's a lot going on there with 200 relatives.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, we're coming back to the bar or the hotel, people are like, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I'm like, no, there's like 200. I don't mean 20 people.
Whoa.
I mean, we need to hire 2 more bartenders.
Yeah, immediately. Okay, Can you tell everybody about your green room?
Oh, my God. So I've had this ongoing relationship with Emo's Pizza because I love it, and I hate that when I'm gone, I can't have it. And so we used to tweet. We still do put Twitter and all that stuff. Well, between them and the guys at the Stiefel, they made the entire green room an Emo's pizza parlor. I mean, even the table,
everything,
chairs, everything. The whole refrigerator was filled with cheese. My mom's like, "Can I have one of these? You can have 10 if you want, Mom. Whatever
what did
you want to
do
drag
with
back."
all of that?
Well, I said, well, they, I feel bad taking it all. Like, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I said, well, I don't want to not take any. Then they'll think we weren't appreciative. So it's that fine Midwest no boundary line of I got to figure out how to make this. I was appreciative, but I wanted to see like a hog and take 20 boxes of cheese, the big boxes, by the way, not the half boxes, the big ones.
Yeah, it was crazy. They even had a big picture of you with the Emos. I mean, it was nuts.
They even had the hanging pendant lights from Emos in there. They installed those.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it, even with people way more famous than me when they try to fancy up a green room. Yeah, well, on top this, I've never seen a duplicate of your favorite restaurant in your green room.
This tops everything. Forget all the contract writers with the M&Ms and all that. I have to have an Emo's Pizza restaurant in the green room.
Yeah. I mean, I want the furniture, I want the chairs, I want the pizza boxes. They had the salad dressings, the pizza sauces, everything.
That's awesome.
It must have taken, even the kids who are teenagers are like, whoa, this must have taken a lot of work. I'm like, yeah, it would take, unless they have some magical team that can reproduce it. Like, are you movie set people? That's how good it was. It was like a movie set where the whole the production team came in.
Yeah, they have a whole team of Provel fairies.
Yeah. That's great for a hometown hero coming back to town. But what's a regular green room like while you're on tour?
Usually boring. And usually kind of, I don't want to say gross, but beat up. And then it was somebody like a Johnny Mathis, it might have been him, put in their rider that they wanted all green rooms painted before they arrived. And he said, the only reason I did that is because every place needed to be painted, and I knew I could get away with doing that.
Oh, that's great.
Like, he made it a happy color, like make it blue or red, instead of gray, like we're in just the bowels of an arena, blah, blah, blah. Like the old theaters, they're really tiny. And the bathrooms are separate. Like for the 1800s, the sink was in a different room than the toilet. It's bizarre. It's not what people think. I think people have this picture of something really awesome happening back there. No. It's just me walking up 3 flights of stairs in heels going, how do the old people do this? That's all you hear.
I was
How did Liza Minnelli get up these stairs at 75?
Yeah.
We're talking to Kathleen Madigan, and I was looking at your Facebook page, and it seems everyone thought that Saturday Night was your funniest show yet. Is it easier to come up with material about your hometown, St. Louis?
Well, I think it means more because most people there probably know somebody in my family, so one of them somehow, whether it's from North County or Narix Hall, or it just goes on and on and on. So I think they get it more, and they're also sitting right there.
Yeah.
If you'd like to look at the real person I'm making fun of, there's my mom.
And I was sitting beside her. She didn't laugh the whole time, and I was wondering, has she ever said, okay, this is off limits. Do not joke about this?
No, because if they ever come close to saying that, I'm like, right, but you have a condo in Florida. Remember that I bought? So I'm going to keep saying whatever I need to say to get to retirement, and you're all going along with it.
I do love that. I know you have one joke about your mom, too, because when your dad was sick, and that's probably my my favorite joke.
Which, about when she yelled at him, you mean?
Yelled at him, and then when it was time for him to go home from the hospital.
Oh, because the neurologist, at this point, he had 4 strokes. The first 2, not too bad. 3, kind of a doozy. 4, just icing on the bad cake. And the neurologist my dad's like half in, half out. He's like, well, I think he's ready to go home. I'm like, with who? he's like, with you guys. I'm like, no, we're not qualified. I'm a comedian. He's a money guy. Like, we just have regular jobs. And he goes, well, your mom said she was a nurse. I'm like, in the Civil War. I mean, look at her. She's not from now. She's still here, but she had cocktails with Clara Barton. I don't think you understand how old this lady is. And my mom's bedside manner is terrible. I said, she is old school nursing. She will make you shoot whiskey, bite on a stick, and she'll crack your leg back. And then we go, you're fine. You might get 2 Advil if you've behaved. That's it. She's not what you think of as modern home care.
Speaking of not modern, you also have some thoughts on explorers coming to St. Louis.
Well, I always think of the pioneer people when I go far out west, like Seattle, and I see those buildings that say 1833, and I'm like, wow, people made it. The Midwest people, we were just quitters.
No doubt.
We made it halfway and went, bad decision on our part, sit down. And once you got across the Mississippi, you can't go back. 20 people drowned just getting over it one way. And I'm like, that's how we just stopped in St. Louis and went, what if there's another one of these 10 miles over there? And there is. If you'd have kept going to St. Charles, oh, my God, there's another one. I mean, just quit while you're ahead. Sometimes I think people should admit, like Oprah and all those people, never give up on your dreams, never quit. No, sometimes you should do that. You should say, I've made a terrible error. I should have stayed in North Carolina. I'm now currently living in St. Louis.
Yeah, this is brutal, but it's good enough.
Yeah, we're stopping here. It's fine. That's why all Midwest people, it always cracks me up when the coastal people, Texas people, they love where they're from. They'll never leave. They love it. You ask anybody, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, hey, how do you like where you live? We're all like, well, it's fine. It's fine. It's where we stopped.
That is so funny. It's exactly what I tell people. It's okay.
Yeah. They have a lot of parking. And, that's going to get on your nerves in a city where there is no parking. Right. So be grateful for what you have. Yeah. Totally fine.
What is amazing to me, and obviously my father, since I think he said it to you about 6 times, we just saw you in Vegas in August. This was a completely different show, and I don't know when you work on material because you're constantly on the road.
I only do it on stage. I just go on stage and start saying whatever. But I try to do that in cities that aren't quite as marquee, let's say, than other cities. I look at the schedule and go, oh, those people are getting all kinds of new jokes. They don't know it. Oh, that city, totally. Watch out, Peekskill. I'm doing a download on you guys. I mean, I still make this show funny, but I squeeze more new stuff in there.
And how do you know? Is it an immediate reaction with the audience?
Yeah, or not at all. I mean, it could be just a fire and a miss. But by this stage of the game, I'm right 95% of the time of what's going to hit and what's going to miss. When you're young, you don't really know any of that. But I don't write jokes in a book or I have a notebook with words in it. But if you saw it, you'd think I was schizophrenic because then there'd be a drawing of a dog and then there's a picture of a cat. It makes no sense to anybody that would find it. And when I lose, I've lost it twice in my life, and I go into a panic, and then I'm like, well, they won't get it. They'll just throw it out. I mean, there's nothing to get. And it doesn't say my name is Kathleen Madigan. Please call if lost. I don't put that in there. So.
You know, Kathleen, it's funny because your career is so terrific, and you're one of the greats. And it's funny how people react with new material. And one of the things that I can't believe, I was lucky enough to see Carlin, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And one time it was in a smaller venue, and he came out with a bunch of papers and notes, and he goes, I got some new stuff. And he's like reading off the papers, and some of it wasn't funny. And he admitted, I'm working through this. And a lot of people were upset. But I thought it was fascinating to see his process. It's amazing how the mind of a comedian works. I said fascinating, maybe scary.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think open mic night, I still go a lot because to me, it's the most soul-bearing, crazy thing a person can do.
Yeah.
Because it's not like songwriters night because they're usually playing somebody else's song or karaoke, or you're getting up there and saying your thoughts out loud and hoping that other people get it.
Yeah.
And there are so many things on open mic night that nobody gets and it doesn't hit, and it's the most uncomfortable hour and a half of your life, but totally worth it because you are just looking into someone's mind. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird concept.
And Kathleen, you're so funny. You have been given a gift, and you use it well, and you're retiring your parents to Florida with it. But if you weren't a stand-up comedian, what would you be doing right now, you think?
Well, good or bad, there would be a bar probably at the Lake of the Ozarks called Madigan's, and I would be there a lot, and I would be because my dad goes, what are you going to be? When I said, I don't even like college. Like, why are you making me do this? Like, I suck at science. I suck at math, and I'm paying to take more. I didn't like any of it, but I loved bartending. I didn't like waiting tables because hungry people are crabby people, but people who want to drink are usually patient, and I can kick you out. I can't kick you out of the restaurant. I can kick you out of the bar.
This is a sitcom, Kathleen. I think Reba's got one.
My dad goes, what, are you going to be, a 50-year-old bartender? I said, bartender/owner. Hello. I'm going to go right down to the bank and get a first-time women's business loan, which is a percentage off, right? And then open Madigan's Pub. There's no way it could go bad.
And you could always be a professional fisherwoman.
Yeah, I could do that and get on the Wildlife Outdoor channel that my brother-in-law watches frequently. Otherwise, I can't have like a real job. I tried that for a year and a half. I remember saying to my dad, when do you get used to this 9 to 5? He goes, never. Just suck it up.
He's right.
And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh, God.
So that's what I would probably be doing. Well, and it would probably be in the Ozarks.
Luckily, it has all worked out, and you have a big announcement to make.
Yeah, my new special on Amazon, an Amazon original, will be on November 21st, which is a Friday.
Oh,
it's the week before Thanksgiving weekend. So, yeah, it took like 2 years, top to bottom, to do the whole thing. And then the children at Amazon will post that on November 21st, or so I'm told.
What is the name? Is it still the day drinking? What's the name of the special?
No, it's called the Family Thread, because I have a big joke in my act about our family text thread that is way too long, involves way too many people, and I'm the only Android user, and boy, I know, see, you hate me too. It's just interesting. And then they're like, we can't even send you a video. I'm like, has it ever occurred to you, I don't need your 20th soccer video of a child I can't see in the distance? Just tell me so-and-so scored. I'm good with that. I'm good. I'll look at it later on my sister's phone. So it's called the Family Thread, but my mom's always on the wrong thread. And we were in some giant conversation about them going to Florida, and she just typed, thanks, Monica. I was hoping for chair yoga. And I looked at that. I know. I just wrote, who is Monica? My sister's like, Mom, on wrong thread, as always. Mom, go back 4 in your phone. Wrong. She just never. And I asked her, do you know what a family text is? She goes, no. I go, do you think you've written on those? No. I said, do you remember writing, thanks, Monica? I was hoping for chair yoga. No. I said, okay, well, then you're clear.
Oh, my.
Back in the day, it was HBO. That was the big comedy special, Comedy Central, Netflix. Is Amazon getting into the game now?
Amazon's getting in. Netflix is still kind of going. I picked Amazon because I think Netflix has too many.
Yeah.
I feel like that homepage of comedy is just overwhelming, and Amazon seems to be a little more particular. And I think I love Bill Burr, and I love Jim Gaffigan. I think theirs is on Hulu. We can't even keep up.
Yeah.
We call each other and go, who's doing this? And who's into it, and who's fading, and it changes so quickly, though. By the time you've made it, by the time you're done, they may not even care.
Yeah.
It's too fast. It's moving. At least HBO and Comedy Central, they both had a decade good run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got weird. These get weird, like the Hulu thing on your TV is going to be incorporated into Disney Plus. It won't even be there anymore.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, because they're being merged into. They may already be part of it. That's the other thing. If I really sat down, I'm going to make some kid do it. I'm probably paying for 18 apps twice.
Same.
If not 3 times.
Oh, I know I have.
Yeah.
And I have DirecTV because I can't stand not knowing where the local news is.
Mm-hmm.
I probably don't need that. And I've got YouTube for the NFL. That's another, I don't know. I mean, my whole monthly bill's probably something that's stomach turning and needs to be addressed. But I just can't find a kid that I can come over to this house and go, you do it.
Here's what I want. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, you do have a cat that you love dearly. Now, Baby Cat can't do much with the TV, but does Baby Cat have any new tricks or stories?
Well, my mom, for my 60th birthday, she goes, are you really 60? And I said, well, there's only 2 people on earth that should know that for sure, and you're one of them. Well, she works at the hospital. She works at the hospital down at the lake as a volunteer a couple days a week, and my sister warned me. She goes, FYI, any presents you're receiving are from the hospital gift shop. I said, okay. So she drove it all the way up from the lake. It's a statue of a cat wearing a vampire cape, or maybe a bat. I can't tell if it's supposed to be a bat or a vampire. So I gave it to Baby Cat when I got home, and she really likes it.
Oh,
she did a full inspection. Yeah, the other 2 cats walked right by it and did not care one bit. But Baby Cat has a new little friend.
I love it, and you won't have to feed that one. Kathleen Madigan, we adore you. You can see her new special on Amazon starting November 21st. Have a good afternoon.
All right, kids, be good. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
October is officially Financial Planning Month. The One Beautiful Bill Act locked in many of the tax laws set to revert back to the 2017 rules. But there were also changes to the tax code in this law, and we can help. If you're not taking full advantage of the tax law and you feel like you're paying more than your fair share, then let us help you plan for 2026 and take advantage of the new tax rules.
Give Capital Advisory Group a call at 636-394-5524. Online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer. This note came in on our text line recently on the Frank and Jill show. You need to know that Ryan Raphael helped me with my senior insurance plan. He was such a gentleman, so helpful, knowledgeable, and kind. I can't thank him enough, and I heard about him on KTRS. I love that text because Ryan Raphael is the Medicare man. He's absolutely the best person to call to help you through the often confusing process of finding the right Medicare plan for you. He loves helping people, walking them through the overwhelm of, I don't know how to choose the best plan for me. Or I did choose a plan based on the recommendation of a well-meaning friend or family member, and now I don't think it's actually the right one for me. Ryan Raphael is the best at matching you with a plan that lets you keep your own physicians and keep your prescriptions. It's like having the highest quality consultant on your team. The best news, it's free to you. Under the law, his fees are paid by the insurance companies. Go to MedicareManSTL.com or call 314-368-6808. That's Ryan Raphael's cell phone number just for you.
We sell siding, windows, doors, and decking by the truckload. My name is Julius Krasanik, celebrating 53 years in this business. Our company is Wholesale Siding Depot, and our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, door, and decking knowledge. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
the brands that we sell are durable, maintenance-free, and energy-saving. Featuring Anderson, CertainTeed, Viwinco, Provia, Masonite, TimberTech, and others, offering the best selection of styles and colors available in this industry. And better yet, our prices are wholesale every day. Last, our Peace of Mind initiative also includes a free contractor referral service to take care of your installation concerns or needs. You are just one click away from keeping it local, family, and professional. Please visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way. It's the McGraw Show.
It's Carl the Intern, Wednesday on the McGraw Show. Do you like true crime? Do you like authors that write about true crime? Do you like podcasters that have podcasts about true crime? 9:15, Ben Westhoff, talking about drugs and suicide, all on the McGraw Show. Fun times, everybody.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550, KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550, KTRS.
Meep, meep. It is 5:30. Let's get another check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, the latest is an accident on eastbound 64 at Timberlake Manor, blocking the two right lanes with traffic backed up to Clarkson. Emergency vehicles are on southbound 170 at Ladue with traffic jammed back to Olive. A crash on southbound 270 at Gravois is causing a stop and go back up all the way to 64. Estimated clearance time there is 5:50. And eastbound 64 is congested from Illinois 111 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Lion's Choice. A local favorite since 1967, Lion's Choice continues to serve high-quality roast beef to family and friends across Missouri and Illinois. Everyone's got their favorite order. What's yours? Stop by or order online. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, KTRS weather.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Another mild but above normal night, low down to 61 degrees, and then warm and well above normal afternoon again, a high of 84, partly to mostly cloudy at times, but the warm and dry pattern continues for Wednesday, and it goes right into Thursday, although more sunshine, mostly sunny, and a high of 83 Thursday afternoon. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Hard to believe, but we're only 17 days from Halloween. Now, if you're wanting to get out there and be a part of the shenanigans, probably need to figure out your costume. The top trending Halloween costumes. I think this is so silly, but I guess this is where I am in my life.
Is this for kids or for adults?
You know, honestly, it's all around, which I also think is a little odd. So you've got the K-pop Demon Hunters, which I think you'll see a lot of. And
they were on Saturday Night
They were,
Live,
yes.
And
you had
I
no
was
idea?
very skeptical but I thought it was pretty entertaining.
Okay.
All right.
That was the Bad Bunny episode.
Uh-huh.
He was obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters. They said it's a kid's show, and he says, no, it's not.
Yeah, it was a pretty good bit.
It is a kid's show, and Finn's obsessed with it now.
No way.
But the music actually is pretty good.
It's
like good poppy music.
Yeah.
All over the charts. It's funny because
Is it on radio?
Yes. Our little neighbor, Lou, is always listening to it, and we have to share our speaker every once in a while and listen to some of it. But also making the list, I do not know, Chicken Jockey from Minecraft, but I guess this was the movie that Jack Black was in. Is that part of this whole thing?
With Jason Momoa.
Okay. Then you've got Labubu, which is the...
Oh, those little keychain things.
Yeah. And, of course, Elphaba from Wicked.
And Elphaba is the green one.
Yes, Elphaba is the green one. Now, when it comes to Halloween makeup, Kiss still rules.
Kiss?
Yes.
What?
Which I think, but here's what I think. Okay, so when you start to talk about pop culture costumes, I think those are the hardest ones to do. Because if you want to, and they're saying, like, here's some of the highlights. Sabrina Carpenter. Who knows who you are if you're dressing like Sabrina Carpenter? Like, it's not like you're dressing like Madonna from 1980 with all the bracelets and the mesh and
Sabrina Carpenter would wear a little negligee.
Probably,
and
but
kitten heels.
Well, let's just flood it up.
Yeah, it's
That's
October.
the best thing about Halloween.
But would you know who it was?
No.
No.
Especially when you have to wear a giant coat because it's 42 degrees outside.
It's St. Louis. It might not be.
Yeah,
We're
it's
still
true.
in the 70s. Or like Brad Pitt in F1. Would you know?
Maybe if you're wearing
No.
the fire suit, you know.
Yeah.
What are you, race car driver? Yeah, okay.
A Brad Pitt as a race car driver? Hello.
Yeah. Well, and then you've got like Leonardo DiCaprio from one battle after another. I'm just not ever going to be able to say, oh, that's who you are. And to me, if you have to explain who you are on Halloween, it's a fail.
Here's why teenage boys will do the DiCaprio. Because he's wearing a hoodie and
that's
jeans
and sunglasses.
And sunglasses. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You have to give us a little more effort.
That's it as far as that goes. So if you were going to dress up this year, and are you dressing up, Josh? Are you doing a family thing this year?
You know, we have the last 2 years, but no, we haven't really discussed it. He's going to go as a skeleton.
Oh.
And I get what would be a good accompaniment?
To a skeleton?
So 2 years ago, Bob, he was an elephant, and I was a giraffe, and my wife was a monkey.
Okay.
Last year, he was a pirate, and I was a pirate as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so this year, if he's a skeleton...
Be a skeleton with him.
Get a little skeleton outfit?
Yeah, be a skeleton with him.
Skeleton dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
go with the white face.
Cute.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to paint my face?
Yeah.
Well, you got to do something.
Hey, remember those kids... Put them in a body bag, Johnny, dressed as skeletons on Karate Kid.
You should be Johnny.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should be Johnny.
Or I should wear the shower curtain and go as Danielson.
That'd be fun, too.
Now we're thinking.
Yeah.
The Big 550 has been live and local for 29 years, covering local news and keeping you informed with national and world news from ABC News.
Now, our local news coverage is even more extensive.
As KTRS now carries the First Alert 4 10 p.m. newscast, Monday through Friday. Join the names you know and trust.
This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Corey Stark.
I'm Samantha Jones.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton with a First Alert update on what's happening.
And sports from the Sports on 4 team. Just one more reason why KTRS is live, local, and your hometown locally owned station. The Big 550 and First Alert 4 depend on it.
Most
people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show. This Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing, online at aroofing.net.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. St. Louis winters don't mess around, and neither should you. When those freezing temps hit, the last thing you want to do is discover your furnace isn't up to the job. That's why now is the perfect time to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians will give your system a full checkup, making sure it's safe, efficient, and ready to keep your family warm all season long. Think of it like an oil change for your car. A little preventative care now saves you from big, expensive breakdowns later. Plus, a tuned-up system runs more efficiently, which means lower energy bills when the cold really sets in. So don't wait until you're shivering under 3 blankets. Schedule your heating inspection today with Premier Heating and Cooling. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net, 636-916-1122.
Hi, it's David Sherwood of the Inside Out Show and president of Sherwood's Forest on Barrett Station Road, just south of Manchester. Fall planting season is here now. We are fully stocked with the area's largest selection of evergreens, Japanese maples, magnolias, and shade trees. Choose from lilac trees, sugar maples, birch, October glory, hornbeams, and crab to provide summertime shade and great fall and spring color. At Sherwood's Forest, you'll also find hundreds of green giant arborvitae and junipers to screen thy neighbor.
And right now, get 5 mums for $40.
Sherwood's Forest has been planting smiles for over 45 years, so head to the forest, Sherwood's Forest at 2651 Barrett Station Road, or check out our inventory at sherwoods-forest.com or call 314-966-0028.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Somebody on the text line just said, I thought the couple caught on the kiss cam was on that list also. I'm sure you'll see a couple of those costumes, but you have to walk around with the cardboard heart, and you're going to have to stay attached the whole time. But it'd be cute, you know.
Have you guys ever done the two-man horse costume?
Mm-mm.
Saw a story today about a guy who got bent out of shape because his wife at work wants to do the two-man horse with another guy. From work. And he got all bent out of shape. But it doesn't matter. Front, back, it's a bad costume.
I don't know who would ever think that was a good idea.
We thought it would be funny one year.
You and your wife?
No.
Oh.
Me and my buddy Jim.
Oh, Jim.
Jim. Oh, that's even more interesting.
I drew the short straw, and I was the back end for the first half. And I was, halfway through, I said, can we switch, please?
So when they said, hey, you're a horse's,
yeah,
you said, well, I guess so.
And then it's, you do the entrance and you gallop around, and then the rest of the time you're just, walking around with horse legs.
Oh.
And then I get Jim's got the head under his arm,
Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
Thank you for sharing that.
The same way a tandem bike. You ever try to ride one of those?
It's not easy. But
It's not.
But once you get the rhythm, it's okay.
I thought it was terrible.
Well, you didn't get the rhythm. That's exactly right. I'll tell you who did have rhythm. D'Angelo, the Grammy-winning R&B icon.
What happened?
Launched neo soul in the 90s. He died Tuesday after a battle with cancer. He was just 51 years old. So that's a tough one. Did you see Alec Baldwin drove his wife's Range Rover into a tree in the Hamptons? His brother Stephen was in the vehicle with them, but in an Instagram video, Alex said he was cut off by a garbage truck the size of a whale, and everybody's safe.
I just saw dash cam from the garbage truck.
And it did cut him off?
Well, critics were trying to say, here's what it looked like happened.
Yeah.
Two-lane road, back and forth. The garbage truck went to pull over, and probably he was either not paying attention, Baldwin, or was following too closely.
And didn't have enough room to...
And he couldn't hit the brakes straight. He couldn't swerve out into traffic to his left, so he had to swerve into the tree.
Well, glad everybody's okay.
Since nobody's hurt, worse things could happen.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Alec Baldwin's road rage? Oh, my gosh.
Well, if it was really the garbage truck's fault, I guess he has a reason to be mad. But if it's just him and the tree, good luck, tree.
Yeah, and he didn't seem angry, so
yeah, it probably
he
was
probably
his
knew
fault.
it was his fault.
And did you see his wife got kicked off Dancing with the
Yeah,
Stars?
but she's saying she was
gone.
bullied. She's making a bigger deal out of it. It's like, come on.
You're grown up.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Happier news. Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl sold 4 million copies in its first week, which is a record now for the modern era. All 12 songs take up the top 12 spots on the Hot 100.
Come on.
It's kind of crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like the woman never stops. And we just found out that Disney Plus will stream a 6-part docuseries about the Eras tour called The End of an Era. Now, I think this would be cool because it gives fans a behind-the-scenes look at the inner workings of the tour that, of course, saw her perform in sold-out stadiums around the world from March of 2023 to December 2024. The first 2 episodes will be released on December 12th, the day before Taylor's 36th birthday.
I didn't have $2,000 to go see that show live, but I might watch this. It's 6 parts.
I would probably watch
I just think it's cool to
I'll
see
watch
how
some
even
of
they
it.
unload the
Oh
18-wheeler
my
trailer
gosh.
trucks and how they put the stage up and tear it down.
One of my favorite things of traveling with Lindenwood football is watching the equipment people
Yes.
because they have to drive to the venue in a big truck
Yep.
and equipment on and off. It's amazing.
It's same when I was doing stories at Channel 5. I always loved doing the behind the scenes. Like I remember when Fan of the Opera was loading in at the Fox Theater and how many trucks they had and bringing all that stuff in, and then all of the talented men and women that are hanging it and how things are flying backstage because there wasn't space for it. I mean, it's just crazy.
It really is.
I've got a buddy who's a Teamster.
Oh, yeah.
And, all the movie shoots and TV shoots here in St.
works.
Louis, the Beyonce show.
Yep.
If something's at the Busch Stadium concert, he's got a truck.
Yeah.
Loading up.
Yep.
It's kind of cool. Season 4 of Bridgerton will drop in 2 parts, one in January and one in February. There's another show I was all in on the first season, and then I kind of faded. Apple TV Plus, which I don't understand why it was ever called that, will now just be called Apple TV without the plus. Apple calls it, quote, vibrant new identity. What?
No, just keep it simple.
So I think when Apple TV came out, it was like a Roku where you would watch your TV through your Apple TV. It was the device.
And so when they made the TV
The
channel,
TV
they made it a
channel
plus?
was plus.
Okay.
At this point, just get rid of the plus.
Well, that's what they're doing. Jeremy Allen White is opening up about playing the boss in front of the boss. He said that at first, seeing Bruce Springsteen on set made it difficult to play him. And he said at first, it's like any job you get to set, you're feeling a little insecure, you're trying to figure things out. And he said, but with him being on the set, it soon became beneficial. He kept showing up and it became more and more normal. And then I feel like it was necessary. He said his presence was giving all of us a lot of permission and making sure that we were staying honest to his story.
Pretty cool.
So that'll be cool. How about this? 31 years ago in 1994, Pulp Fiction hit theaters.
One of my all-time favorites.
It's a good one. And then maybe less favorable, 18 years ago in 2007, the very first episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians premiered.
Yeah.
Nope.
One of Bob's favorites.
Yes. TV Tonight, you got Dancing with the Stars, you've got The Voice, and then you got all of the premieres of the NCIS shows on CBS. How about some birthdays?
Real quick, though, I got to do one more entertainment story.
Please do.
With the passing of Diane Keaton.
Yes.
There was a story about her longtime romance with Al Pacino. And he said that she really took care of him in one particular instance because he did not know how to handle his money. And after he did The Godfather, one of the greatest films of all time. He was broke, completely broke. So Keaton accompanied Pacino to the lawyer's office and yelled at him, "Do you know who he is?" And she said, "You're going to tell me, oh, he's an artist." No, he is an idiot. Isn't that
why we love her?
He's an ignoramus when it comes to this, meaning the money. You've got to take care of him. Isn't that beautiful?
I love it.
It's awesome. It's funny. But she did that because she cared about him. Isn't that great? Okay, birthdays, real quick. This is going to be a lock for Heidi. Josh, you can take a shot. Natalie Maines, lead singer, Dixie Chicks.
She's going to be in Mexico when we're there for the Brandy Carlisle Girls Just Wanna. She is
muy bueno.
Oh, is she?
I'm going to say she's 55.
I was going to say 50 even.
You got it, 51.
Yes.
51.
Gosh, I thought she was my age, and then I went older.
We got time for one or two more? One more?
Than her. Two more.
Two more.
No, we're the same age.
Orange is the New Black.
Oh.
The League of Their Own. Lori Petty.
Oh, gosh, she's so good in all of those.
Oh, my gosh. Point Break. Lori
62.
Petty. She is 56.
Bang, 62. And finally, the gentleman that was blinded by science.
Thomas Dolby.
Thomas Dolby.
Wow.
How old is he?
Not a clue.
Blinded me with science. 71.
73.
67.
Oof.
And I'll just give you one. Ralph Lauren.
Oh, 91.
86.
86.
There was your
All
bonus
right.
coverage.
That is your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a Banner Day.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's about 8 minutes before 6 o'clock. Let's get one final check of traffic on this Tuesday from Captain Paul.
Heidi, a crash on southbound 270 at Gravois is causing a backup all the way to Doherty Ferry. An accident on eastbound 64 at Timberlake Manor is blocking the 2 right lanes with traffic backed up past Clarkson. Emergency vehicles are on southbound 170 at Ladue, blocking the center lane with traffic jammed back to Olive. There's an accident on westbound 44 at Lewis, blocking the 2 left lanes with traffic jammed back to Antire, and eastbound 64 is congested from Illinois 157 to 159. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Kids don't always like to get school report cards, but they are important and helpful. They document subjects where they're strong and others where they need to show some improvement. Ever wonder why you don't get a report on how your child's school compares to others? At the Show Me Institute, we think you should, and that's why we've started the Missouri School Rankings Project. Click on the website moschoolrankings.org, and it's all there. Rankings and letter grades for all the schools in Missouri. The rankings are based on several categories, such as student performance in English, language arts, and math, ACT scores, and graduation rates. Then we take the rankings and come up with a grade point average, just like your child has. Each school and district will have a grade, and the website is easy to use. Don't you want to know how your child's school stacks up? Now you can. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Schrader Funeral Homes and Crematory, St. Louis's oldest family-owned funeral home, offering complete funeral, burial, and cremation services, including an on-site reception center and crematory. 150 years of serving St. Louis families. Visit them at schrader.com.
A message from the master. If you are looking for that one-of-a-kind gift this year, come on in to Newssetter's Fine Jewelers. Let Richard draw your future present for somebody you love. This special engraving lasts a lifetime. At the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
All right, let's wrap this Tuesday up with a couple randoms.
In the United States, a ton is 2,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere else, it's 2,240 pounds.
Even though it's called a ton?
I mean,
how did they screw it up?
Why are we not on the metric system?
Because we tried and failed.
I don't like it.
You don't. People.
I don't like change.
Yeah.
People hate change.
You know what? Kathleen Madigan has a great joke about that too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is she on board or
no?
Oh, shit.
Perfect.
you could take your leaders, or maybe we use leaders. I don't even know. Up to half the water on Earth is older than the sun. How does that work? How does that work?
I don't believe that.
Listen to this. Hugh Hefner donated the money to pay for a new Y in the Hollywood sign in 1978. Alice Cooper paid for the third O in the Hollywood sign.
We just saw a story on that, didn't we? On CBS?
Maybe.
CBS Sunday Morning
That's ringing a bell.
Within the last year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So the story goes, they put up the sign. It was to promote Hollywood Land.
Right.
A subdivision they were building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The land was taken off in 1949. And in the 70s, the whole sign itself was just so deteriorated.
Unbelievable disrepair.
Dilapidated. Yeah. It looks like a joke.
Yeah.
It looks like they filmed like Escape from L.A.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. But apparently Hugh Hefner and Alice Cooper paid for part of it. And the last letter added to the alphabet that we know is J. They saved the best for last.
What do you mean? They just slipped it in the middle?
They were like, you know
How
what?
do you do that?
And how do you sing the song without the J in the beginning?
We got to protest. I want the J back out of there.
Oh, I'm with you. You guys, that does it for us. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully, you'll meet us right back here starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcast? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Yeah, stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things, uninterrupted at amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Mizzou football.
It's a rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The remains of 4 additional hostages that had been held in Gaza returned to Israel. But Israeli authorities saying that Hamas is dragging this out, and the UN Humanitarian Office says Israel informed them that it would slow aid to Gaza in response.
The phase 1 of the cease plan called for 600 trucks a day to go into Gaza to reach the families who need it, and that number would be cut in half. The Israelis saying that that Hamas has been slowing the process of returning the hostage bodies that they have.
ABC's Marcus Moore in Tel Aviv. President Trump today asked how long he would give Gaza to disarm, as called for by the ceasefire agreement.
They're going to disarm, and because they said they were going to disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
How will you do that?
I don't have to explain that to you. But if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games.
A hiring slowdown, a growing risk to the U.S. economy. That from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell today, suggesting the Fed will cut rates twice more this year. And then there's the positive news of stronger GDP estimates for the year.
You do have a bit of a tension there between, the labor market data that we see, very low levels of job creation, and yet people are spending. So economic activity is strong, and it's, we're going to have to see how that plays out.
President Trump meeting with Argentina's president at the White House today after granting the South American country $20 billion in assistance, which he insists isn't a bailout. President Trump today posthumously awarded conservative activist Charlie Kirk the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
We're entering his name forever into the eternal roster of true American heroes. He's a true American hero, an amazing person.
Kirk was fatally shot on September 10th while speaking at Utah Valley University. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm Steve Potter with KTRS News.
St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery was taken into custody after a hearing today. The ruling was made after prosecutors testified that he withheld information about owning a burner phone, lied about how many guns he had, and had inconsistent answers about his drug use. The Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance has issued a stern warning to halt the practice of insurance companies canceling or not renewing policies for homeowners still dealing with recovery from the catastrophic spring 2025 storms. This action comes after the department became aware of a few companies terminating coverage for Missouri consumers who are currently working to complete necessary repairs. DCI Director Angela Nelson told First Alert 4 that this is unacceptable.
We know that recovery efforts take a long period of time, but when you have the volume and severity of storms that Missouri has experienced this year, there are so many facets to the recovery process that a homeowner can't control.
Residents who are experiencing a problem are encouraged to call DCI's consumer hotline to file a formal complaint. Hundreds showed up last night for a town hall focusing on a proposed data center in Midtown St. Louis. Residents voiced concerns over the project, including the economic and environmental impacts. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. After 15 years in North County, Ferguson Brewing Company will close its doors on December 20th. Before opening, the new owners plan some light renovations to the building, which is located at 418 South Florissant Road. The market's brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 203 points, NASDAQ down 164, and the S&P 500 down 10. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Attention. Attention. Please make your way to the nearest radio.
It's time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the Big 550, KTRS. Powered by The Control